Another one.
Boy, do not be sorry. Be better.
And so everything that we are doing with our content, with our
Another one. Another one.
Means when I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games. We have work to do there. We haven't done our best work over the last few years.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy Spirit,
no. Oh, no.
activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate. Activate.
And, they have something I could never have.
Really? And what's that?
A soul.
Yo, grinders! It's the Gaming Grindhouse Monday night. Almost 2 days left for PSVR. Just a little bit of the eve of PSVR 2. If you're counting your days, how's everybody doing out there? Shout out to all the VIP grinders! How's everybody doing? Oh, man. It's lonely on the Grindhouse. Waiting for Frogs to jump on. J-Dub said he'll be on too. And Supermod, I sent you an invite as well. You're welcome to join in through the Discord. But how's everybody doing? Shout out to the VIPs. Oh man, you kept me working. I did so just a couple of things. As you would know, VIP grinders, there is a new emoji in the house. There is Twisted Sync is flexing it. The PSVR 2 Ready Player PlayStation emoji has been added on that. Yes, just as a first topic, just about Ozzy Osbourne doing his thing with the PSVR, dude. That is pretty damn funny. I heard Xbox fans did not like that, and they went after him. Why not? They got to protect Phil at all costs. Oh man, because it's the joy of Phil Ness. Got to get invited to that rooftop party. Got to protect Phil at all costs. Shout out to all the VIPs: Alfonso, JC, Twisted Sync, Zero, Steel, Kratos, 99. How's everybody doing out there? Some of the mods are Nick Sargent at VIP. Yo, what's up? How's everybody doing? We got topics tonight. And you know what? It may be a Bachelor Grindhouse. Who knows? We've done it before. Bachelor Grindhouses. I'm coming off the heat of yesterday of getting tangled in cords. What's up, Neil? How you doing? Yo, what's up, Dallas Cowboys? How you doing? Mass Produce. Yes, tell them. Yeah, of course. You got to protect Phil, man. Joy to the glory holes. That's right. Oh, pause. Damn, too early for that. Oh, too late for that. Who knows? Who knows? Weezid got his email. Oh, man, everybody's flexing those PSVR emojis. That's right, baby. Ready Player PlayStation. They got the hearts. They got, oh, damn, I didn't even see these smiles and hearts jumping in there. That's pretty hot. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, we got to, first, before we even get started here, talking about everybody flexing those emojis. Oh, man, I've been putting that work. So as Herman Hope doing those splits, he's like, you know what? Grinders. These are too many grinders in here. I have to do my splits. And here he is. Oh, yeah, I should have fixed that a little bit. I've been working hard. Fix this down there. Oh, my. Look at this. Look at this. What a disaster. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? What am I doing here, grinders? I'm trying to fix this. Fix it live. Whole set of new grinders. Shout out to all the VIPs. How you doing? Partying with Herman Holtz doing the splits. You know what? I'm going to put this up. Oh, I can't put that there. Yes. Phil Ness in the back. Shout out to all the VIP grinders. Thank you for all your support. You got the new flexed emoji this evening of the PSVR 2. And we are rocking tonight. I want to thank you. Herman Holtz, he can't split any further. He is a full one. He is full split, full throttle. Herman Holtz. He's like, I don't know. The quality splits. It's a huge list. The Grindhouse is huge. And you know what? I might have to do something now. Members things. I might do a members stream or maybe members playlist of music. I don't know. I'm going to be thinking about something. But the Grindhouse is huge. I got to put addendums on. But I want to thank everybody for all the support. You want to be a VIP grinder and join this list of Herman Holtz split quality in the club, partying with Herman all the time. You can hit that join button and be a VIP member and use and flex those emojis. But if not, hit that like button, hit the subscribe too. We all rocking. Hit it. We're going. Oh my goodness. And Herman, what is the drink this evening?
Well, let me tell you, today's evening drink at the bar at the VIP ground is a rum and coke, a quality rum, and some nice Pepsi to go with it. And that puts the hair on your chest and gives you the deep voice like me. And then emphasis quality. So please, go to the bars at the VIP Grindhouse and go partake. Tonight's drink is the rum and coke. Delicious quality rum. I drink it on my yacht every evening with my ladies and my button-down shirt when I want to see quality games.
Thank you, Mr. Herman Holtz. Thank you for telling us what this evening's drink is. Rum and coke. Some people say it's a blue moon tonight. Oh, man, it's a blue moon. Ow! But shout out to all the VIP grinders. As we go into, I got to fix this. I just don't do this craziness. There we go. Yo, and Frog heard the thumping of the music. He heard the beat. He heard the crowds. He saw the party lights going on in the Grindhouse from the streets. He's like, holy shit, something's going on in there. What's up, Frogs? How you doing?
Oh, there was a rooftop party. That's
No,
what I thought.
no. The roof is closed in the Grindhouse. I'll tell you that right now. The roof is closed, and no stalls are open. Pause.
Oh, okay.
How you doing, Frog?
So I might sound a little different because I'm on my way to the house. I'm coming out of St. Pete, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm here, so I'm here.
Hey, man, I got you.
I'm here.
Nice. All right, thank you. Let me try to fix this chat box here. This chat box is wilding. There we go. Oh, shit, we got, and thank you. Super chats are open. That is open. Tip your waiters. No, but the game night 1, 2, 3 up to 5. He goes, sup, Jez? Xbox aren't mad about the price increase in Sweden because it's cheaper than the PS5. It must be a good thing then. Oh, my goodness. Xbox is increasing in price. They're not selling. Phil's just outpricing them. Dude, they went bonkers. Game night. Thank you for the super chat. They went bonkers when the PlayStation increased price. It was the YouTube streets. They lit open like the friggin' Mardi Gras. They were like, oh, PlayStation increasing the price. Those greedy. Jim Ryan's so greedy to line his pockets with the monies of fans and gamers. Though that Jim Ryan, he's so green. He's so mean. He just wants to increase and price gouge everybody. But when it's going up all over the place with Xbox, oh man, yo, stay quiet. Stay quiet. You'll get down here. We got to get invited to FanFest this year. Shh. I'm putting my application in. Rooftop party, third stall. Right, Frog? There we go. They got to get invited. They're like, don't say anything. Pause.
Especially if they're the cable guy.
Oh, the cable guy. Yo, speaking of the cable guy, we got some brand new. Wait, man, this is the hottest grindhouse. I'm telling you right now. I'm working my tukus off, and I made you some brand new songs because this internet does not cease to surprise me with the Tangle Gate and USB Gate. I said it that this guy, this CNET reviewer, reviewed it. Check out the video from yesterday. My God, I was laughing for a good 5 minutes. Geo Knows Gaming got me laughing. He tweeted it out there. Dude, I was friggin' laughing when he said it was like an infomercial. This dude posed that the wire was hanging from his PS. I was going to wait until we get into the some of the topics of the PSVR hype. But listen, we're not waiting for this because this was some foolery. The cable was on his shoulders. Oh my God. And then after the cable, he got tangled. He had his feet like a goddamn ballerina, and the wire was tangling him, tying him up like a goddamn rodeo cow. Well, I got a song for you, Mr. CNET reviewer. Here you go. Grinders, timestamps, mods, super mods. Here we go. It's going to be a hell of a night. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. We got 50 more subs to get to 2,000 grinders. Put on more addendums. Here's the song. This is for you, Mr. CNET getting tangled. Mr. USB Gate.
Watch out for that USB cable with PSVR. It weighs as much as the chains of Olympus, and you are going to get tangled and fall on your ass. Trust me, listen. This to me for free, and I only play on Compass.
Oh, man. The USB cable is heavy as the chains of Olympus. Holy crap. It weighed him down. And trust him, he got it for free, and he plays only on Game Pass. So there you go. I'll play an encore. If we get some more likes, I'm going to play an encore for that one. Guess the 50 likes. We're going to do it. An encore. Miss Piggy got a second album. She's coming up. An instant classic. An instant classic. Chop topper. There it is. The USB cable gate. God damn. Chains of Olympus. God damn. These clowns on the internet. They're going to get songs for all these fools. Weighing down the cable was. Get the hell. You know what? Listen, I got a fix for you. If the cable bothers you so much, you know you could take it. You could put a little hook in the ceiling, or you have a drop stand, put a little hook and it could go up there. Then it's like completely removed. I've seen people do that with the Vive and Oculus. But this dude, man, he was getting tangled. He was like the goddamn infomercials. Oh my goodness. Friggin' USB cable dude. Well, let's clean our tongues. Let's get we're gonna show that. When we get to the VRs, I'm gonna go talk about that guy because that was freaking hilarious. And if I had more time, I'm gonna try to do a freaking meme of this guy doing this twirl with the freaking cable tied up to him. Holy crap! These clowns waste of time. You know what? I got to play the song again. You might hear it a few times tonight. It puts a smile on my face.
Watch out for that USB cable with PSVR. Do it weighs as much as the chains of Olympus, and you are going to get tangled and fall on your SS. Trust me, listen. This to me for free, and I only play on Compass.
Yeah, I can smell that Game Pass only gamer a mile away. And then he played with a mask on. Everyone's like, why is he playing with a mask on? I'm like, holy crap. Dude was like all masked up and stuff. Get the hell out of here with this stuff. We need a... We got the PlayStation. They're fighting gravity with liquid metal. They're fighting chains of Olympus, USB cables hanging, one cable hanging from a device. Who was there? Get the full on your ass because you got tangled. Get the hell out of here, these clowns. Oh, damn. That freaking clown music was playing 24/7. Oh, man. So anyway, we're going to go. So first topic here is the Last of Us episode 6. I believe it's episode 6. Last night, no spoilers. Frog, did you see it? I was driving. I know, Enrique. It's fighting liquid metal. That liquid metal's leaking. Ridiculous. Bootleg tested. No, there's no bootleg. There's only one. That's the head clown. Head clowns. I don't know if Frog is on the thing. But anyway, so I saw The Last of Us. I actually watched the rest of it this morning. And I have to say, I will not spoil it. It is absolutely incredible. They're following the game in the store, and they do one of the most iconic scenes in the game. And I gotta say, the actors, I'm really sold on the casting that they did for this show. I do have to say that. I think, the first couple episodes, I was like, yeah, she sounds like Ellie and things like that. But I'm telling you, as they get more interactions with each other, I think that the character interaction and the casting, I think it's incredible. I really think that they've done a great dynamic there. And after this episode at the end, I really am feeling for them. I'm like, okay, that's the TV Joel and Ellie. Like, that's what they are. And I'm ready to go to where they're going. So I gotta say, they've done a great job. And Tommy, the way you dude. And I'm gonna tell you another thing too. I'm trying not to spoil this, but another thing too, the settings. Whoever did the props team and just everybody who set up the stage, the design, all that, the rooms, the environments, everything looks like it's pulled right from the game. It is absolutely incredibly accurate. And when these things show up, you're like, wow, that is that's like from the game. And they have done this episode after episode. They have really just shown that they are just taking their set design and they are taking it right from the game to the accuracy of it. The rooms that they have these meetings in, there's some where they change it for the TV show. But when you see some of the things, especially in this one was very iconic, and they changed something. They changed some little things in this from the game, but it's still iconic settings from the game. But they changed it in the timeline for the movie, for the TV show. But they nailed it. Yeah, as RP Gaming, yes. I won't say it live, but if you say it, yes. They did that, and they nailed it. Even the rooms and the environments that they're going through, the sewers, and when they even did it in the previous episodes. Incredible. Looked, they ripped right from the game. So their set design team is just incredibly meticulous, and that is... And I think I recall when they said, environmental storytelling. Remember, that was one of the things that Neil Druckmann was saying about the games of environmental storytelling. They're doing it with the show. And incredible. That, you're just like, whoa, that's that's from the game. Like that's this. They should go there. That's the room. That's the dining room. That's the hall. There's the room that sit in. There's the window, like right there, and the outfits, the wardrobe as well. Like it respects the game. It doesn't make it their own. They're not trying to do spin-offs. They're not trying to make this their own story. There's some things, but they're not. But they're respecting the game, and this is what I always say on this channel. I always say on my show, like about respecting the IP, and that's something that we saw abandoned. And we joke about Halo Infinite, but that was a travesty. That was a total disrespect for the story, the investment of 20 years of a character, and for them to take Halo after all this time, even iterations of the show that they tried to do. That is how not to do it. And when you see that, and you see and even they did it with Doom. Remember how Doom was kind of cheesy? The movie, it was horrible. Like the way they did Doom. Like it was just like, yeah, here's a gamer. Okay, well, here's some first-person camera. Okay, here you go, gamer. You know, like, yeah, this is my Doom movie, but I'll add something for the gamers so they can be like, oh, look, the first-person camera. You know what I mean? And they did the same thing in Halo too. They're like, oh, look, let's put it from the gamer's perspective. Let's put them in let's put it in the helmet view. And that's how not to do it. And the fact that they're right near each other. It's not like Halo show was done like decades ago. Like it was done within a year or two of each other, showing the difference of the two companies and how they respect their IP. And that's what I watch The Last of Us. I watch it's mature, but it's actually respecting the gamers. It's not taking advantage of the gamers. And then when you watch the show after the fact, when you listen to their justification, the fact that when they did their scene, they were nervous because they had to match up to what the game's emotion was. And they knocked it out of the park. I thought it was great. And the clickers, like the stuff, like it was not even that clicker scene was absolutely incredible. But they're respecting their IP, and that's all you can ask for. And that's something that you see in the success of the show. Exactly, Sony is an entertainment company, and that's where their flex is. Like they could do this, and I really am looking forward to other shows from them. But all I gotta say, she is. I agree. Delta Victor Bravo, Bella Ramsey, incredible as Ellie. She sounds like her without being her and being her own. And man, awesome. Like, yeah. And their interactions are great. And they are telling in the story, though, is that they are characterizing Joel much more humble and much more emotional in the TV show than he was in the game, which I think even does more for his character. Like flashbacks of his daughter and stuff. Like you really don't, you really try to imagine it as a gamer, and they don't really show it so much in the game. They just make him as a hard ass. He's really tough. But when you watch the TV show, it really is, yep, exactly. Subtext, I agree. And what's really crazy is that they're making him more emotional. Having like panic attacks, flashbacks, and just breaking down, which you never seen him break down in the first game. Like you didn't say it, but they're making him more humanized and more of just like more challenging. And I think Pedro Pascal has done an incredible job as Joel. I tell you, incredible. I'm upset that there's like a few more episodes left, but dude, this is incredible TV, and it is growing, and it is like the ultimate hotness. And what's crazy, as a gamer, you're excited because this is a franchise that you love, a franchise that gamers love, and now everybody else is being aware of it, and it's just going to bring more knowledge into it and bigger worlds. Who knows where it goes from here, but I think it's great. Yeah, almost like I'd sit down now and watch it. I really think, yeah, I know there's some Easter eggs in there too, like going on.
Number one customer.
Shout out to Kratos99-5. He goes, Jez, you know what's crazy? PlayStation has more hardware than Xbox getting games this generation. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. It has more hardware than Xbox. Yeah, I know. And you know what's funny? I was looking at the stock tracker, speaking about that. Like, the PlayStation's in stock, dude. And this is a runaway train. Like, it's just, I'm telling you, like, I said people are like, why are you doing these videos? Like, give Xbox a break. Give them time. There is no time. I said there is no time. There is no time. Like, it's the time they needed to strike was years ago. And that would be building for them to do now, right? Their time is up. Now Sony is firing on not 5 cylinders, like 20 cylinders. Like the momentum of the show, the momentum of that IP, the momentum of the console and stock, the games that they have released already, like Horizon, like Ratchet and Clank, like Returnal, like Demon Souls, Miles Morales, all the stuff they have done already, in addition to what is coming. And then you got the ultimate PlayStation VR, another experience with VR 2, with a whole bunch of games coming in that way. There's things in stock. And you're still wondering where release dates for Starfield, whatever the hell it is, Starfish, Chocolate Starfish, I don't know. That's sad.
Oh no, not the chocolate starfish.
The chocolate starfish, frog. Here he comes. Yeah. It's over. Like, the time is up. Like, Microsoft had their time. They wasted it with a bunch of Phil Ness bull. And now the rubber hits the road. And all they could do now is swing for the fences for their Ninja and Shroud. And hopefully they could try to buy some time, because that's what I feel like these Activision deals are. And that's what it is, you know? And games like, the next topic, Hi-Fi Rush, out of the top 50 played games. That's the next topic. Like, so I got it as a review copy. I played about a few hours of it. I'm about 5 hours in the game. And it's gonna get a little wearing. Like, it's it's getting a little like you just go through a little traversal sections, and then you have a little arena shoot. You have a little arena, you fight a bunch of bots, and then you move on to another arena, and then you move into another, like, they're just little arena sections. And it's like a cheap man's Devil May Cry type stuff, and it's not even as glorious as a Devil May Cry and spectacle. It's very kind of it's a poor man's Devil May Cry. Yeah, here's the top 50 games, and this is another thing. We'll get into the Game Pass cannibalizing sale, like, with things that we mentioned earlier, but like, look at the games that are the top played games on Xbox. Like, where's your first game that's in Game Pass? Minecraft? I don't know if Game Pass is giving Minecraft it, but I just think Minecraft just gets played and it happens to be in Game Pass. I don't think Game Pass is driving that. So what game on here would say, hey, Game Pass is really making people play this game? Hi-Fi Rush is not here, not even in the top 50. But what I ask you here is, looking at this list, what game is Game Pass doing favorable for? Grinders, let's go down the list and see. What is Game Pass doing to make a game? Like, is Game Pass really helping out Minecraft? I don't think so. Is Game Pass helping out Madden and EA Access? The football season's over. So where are our Game Pass games? Ark Survival Evolved? That's in Game Pass. Is the Game Pass making that playable? Dead by Daylight? I just think these are games that are popular that happen to be in Game Pass. Where's that game?
Atomic Hearts, man. Atomic Hearts. That's the game.
Oh, we got that. Next topic. FIFA. Here's Halo Infinite.
Man.
Halo Infinite. Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23. Halo's coming in right near the halfway mark of the top 50 games played on Xbox. This is filtered for most played games on the console, on Xbox. Halo Infinite. Guys, you know what? Halo Infinite Season 3, I mentioned earlier, starts on March 7th. There's leaks and stuff. Nobody's covering that. Nope. Elder Scrolls, like, what game is like, yo, where's Hi-Fi Rush? Where is the other game with the talking gun? Where's that one? Sea of Thieves is in here. Here's Sea of Thieves. Smite, like, look at this. That's in Game Pass. Like the top 50 games, like, looking at Game Pass games, like Farming Simulator, like the games, Monster Hunter Rise, that's kind of new, so that has some legs in there, which is crazy because that came out like even after Hi-Fi Rush. I know Halo's 20. Halo, dude, you're telling me Halo should have been numbered up in the top 10 at least, considering it's free. It's free.
Hey, Jez, free don't always mean better, though.
I know.
We Just saying it was for a while.
Free does not mean better, but I mean for popularity, for accessibility, for the major IP that built Xbox. Yeah, Pentiment. Where's that other game? The one with the talking gun. High on Life. Where's that one? Like, these games get like a few days of hype and then they fall off like a lead weight. Like a lead weight, dude. They don't have legs. And what you think is something that's accessible in Game Pass. That's why I'm saying, like, all this Game Pass engagement stuff in the first day is fake. It's all either false hype on the internet because it's in Game Pass. Just like Atomic Heart. That will shoot up. I don't know where that is. I don't know where Atomic Heart is. We hit refresh. That's not even the top 50 Atomic Heart being in Game Pass. But, like, you look and it's like it has Hogwarts. Like, Hogwarts is third. That is a game that people buy. That's not Game Pass. GoldenEye, that talk about an overnight fling. GoldenEye, Josh, yeah, GoldenEye, that thing, they talked about it longer with the achievements leak than actually play the game. No online, nothing. Didn't even look better. Horrible. And yeah, bugs and stuff, dude. I just, yeah. Like, and that's why I said, I looked at this list and I'm like, well, what is Game Pass? Like, what can you say is a success of Game Pass, right? It's nothing. These are all the par for the course games that happen to be in Game Pass. Shout out to Cyber Dragon, member for 14 months, flexing the emojis there. He goes, good evening, chat, mods, grinders, panel, and our host, Jen7780. The factual words spoken by this panel is golden. Thank you so much, Cyber Dragon. I appreciate all your support, and definitely everybody check out Cyber Dragon streams when he does them on the YouTube. Streams a lot of great games, and he actually is good because he streams the whole game, not like bits and pieces. He like shows you playing the whole game, which is, you know, a rarity of gamers. You just made the list. Rarity of gamers to show like, hey, here's me playing games, dude. Imagine. You would think with Game Pass, again, going back to this Game Pass conversation, you would think with all this accessibility, people will be streaming left and right. No. And it's kind of a boring top 50. It's like, okay, all for the course, dude. Oh, Atomic Heart comes out tomorrow. That's why it's not on the list. Okay, good. Because I saw some people playing it, but I guess it was reviewers. There's a talking glove in Atomic Heart. Oh, that has cringe on it, Captain? Okay. Nah, they won't bring that up. The only cringe is in Forspoken. That's it. Okay, so it comes out tomorrow. All right. Schooling. Kratos 99 is dropping all these games that people hyped about on the internet, and it's like not even in the top 50. Dude, maybe they're in the. Let's go to the next 50. Let's see what's. Oh, we can't even see the next 50. They won't let. Microsoft won't let us go past that. But anyway, Hi-Fi Rush. They said it was Game of the Year, right? In the year of Zelda, Hogwarts, Spider-Man. Do you think Hi-Fi Rush is going to get thrown into that list? I don't think so. Maybe it can't be indie. I don't even know what it was going to be. We'll talk about it yesterday, Frogs, right? What is it going to be? Hi-Fi Rush. Is it going to be like it can't be indie. Is it indie? But you're telling me that's going to be in the yo.
Maybe they'll create a new category called Best Passion Project.
Yes. The Best Passion Project. Or Best Game in Game Pass or something like that. I don't know. What the hell can they do, dude?
I don't think that game's getting nominated for anything this year.
Yeah, it's going to get people, but you know, it's a January game that usually gets forgotten about. Like, it probably get in there in some sort of like, who the hell knows? Like, it's all right, but it's nothing like what like, it's not what it is, dude. Like, it's very simplistic. And I'm not really feeling it. Like, I kind of got, when you play through a game and you know that you kind of got the gist of it and there's no curveballs thrown at you or anything like you. And that's kind of what I feel like. I feel like I'm like, yeah, do a little puzzle elements. Yeah, they throw in a little stuff here and there, but there's not a lot of exploration. There's not a lot of side stuff. There's just kind of like just run straight, get into an area, fight an area. Like, it's the Devil May Cry stuff, but Devil May Cry was much more of a spectacle and a story and like the things, the scaling of the fights that you're having and stuff like that were huge. The demons and stuff like that. But yeah, not much. Like they need to, like, if they have a good element there, it would be nice if they blow it up on there. Herbie Master, oh man, $2. He goes, can't stop playing the Hogwarts, Jez. I know. I can't. Dude, there are so many things to do in the missions and stuff. Like about a few hours in, dude, it just blows up. And there's just so much to do. And what's crazy, how they have, what I like is how they have the way you learning the magic that they shot the Herbie Master. I don't know about that, what to do with the $2. But, the thing is that you learn your skills like a student. So, like, you learn your magic. So you have to do a couple of prerequisites, and then they'll teach you the new trick, which is pretty interesting. It's not like you just get it at level 15, or you'll find a book or something to give you the magic. The fact is that the teacher will teach it to you, but you need to do a couple of things. Like you have to grab this potion and use these two potions together, or fight a couple of people with this, or dodge a couple of times. Like there's a couple of little things that you got to do in order for them to teach you the skill, which is pretty awesome. I think that's a cool way of doing it. Oh, there it is. Josh Ayers just said it. He got to the big twist of Forspoken, right? Josh, we'll talk about like the thing in Forspoken, man. I'm telling you. And then remember, I got the review copy after I beat the game. I got the review copy and stuff. I'm going to stream it again. And a couple of times I want to stream it again. I want to stream it after the game because I beat the game, and I think the dynamic changes and there's a lot of cool things to do. And leveling up your magic after the fact. So I think I'm gonna do another stream of Forspoken because I'm feeling that now. I want that fast combat again with that. But exactly. You play that game and you're like, you see that twist and you're like, and who said this is a bad story? Like this is a pretty crazy story. The Game Night 123 with a 5. He goes, Jez, please stop hating. Didn't you see the great news? Xbox has a mini hoodie for their drinks. They won. What? I've been seeing people mention that. I didn't see any tweets about it. What is this? Frog, do you see a mini hoodie for their drinks? What is?
Yeah, it looks like some kind of bomber jacket for their drinks.
Whose drinks?
It's ridiculous.
Who?
Anybody's drinks. It's a bomber jacket. I don't know if that was real, but I don't know if it was real or not. I guess maybe it's real. I don't know.
I saw the one for the controller. They made one for a hoodie for a drink.
Yeah, so like you can get a Budweiser or whatever and put your drink inside the little bomber jacket.
A cozy?
Little Xbox. Yeah.
A Xbox cozy? Is that what they call it?
Yep. It's a cozy.
What? A buddy cozy glove? Is that it? A cozy glove? What? No, that's a game. Cozy Grove. No, I don't.
It looks like a South Pole jacket or like a bomber jacket, a mini one.
And it's Xbox branded? If anybody has the link, I can't find.
I saw it, but I didn't know if it was real.
Is that real? I don't know. Uh-oh. What
You're
the
my number one customer.
What the What the? No. Is the Xbox Gear Shop? Dude. What the what?
Sign me, please. I will bend over and touch. Mine is tell me it's better when we all play the make exclusive games and line. To my face, thank you, Phil.
What the hell is this? Kratos99 with the 5. He goes, Jez, this is the Xbox this gen. Fridge, nail polish, Oreos, hat, gloves for controller, now jackets for drinks, and they're raising the prices. What is this stuff? Thank you, Sergeant, because I couldn't find this thing. What the? A puff and $22.99. Did Phil wipe his ass with this thing before he sent it out? What the? $23? $23? You would get your ass kicked if you walked into a bar and pulled out this trash. I think if you would get an ass kicked by your family at a barbecue if you pulled out this trash. You got to be sick in the head for this kind of stuff. I understand Xbox memorabilias and things like that, but this is ridiculous. This thing got goddamn arms like it's a little person. What is this thing? I got to get, wait a second. No. I need my sources. I need my sources. Grinders, this might be a classic right now. So get ready. Oh my goodness. We are going into Grinders, this might be a classic right here. A derailment of the Grindhouse. Thank you for sharing these things. This might be a classic, so stay tuned because we are going into the Xbox Gear Shop. I gotta see this. I haven't seen this Xbox Gear Shop in a while. So we need to see what is going on. Look at this. For FanFest, get ready for your tramp stamp. What are we doing here? Shop by your favorite titles. Wasteland. Hellblade. What the hell they got for State of Decay? I should have got some shirts. Okay. You can shop by drinkware. What is this? Where's this cozy? Oh my God. Who wants a Pentiment mug? Holy a Pentiment mug. Who is that game? A Pentiment mug. Get the on the Oh my God. Kratos just said the 5. He goes, just the pucker is sold out and people are buying it. What? Who wants the Pentiment mug? Holy spirit. God damn.
You're my #1 customer.
Oh my God. Subtext with he goes, Xbox is out of gaming. They're even bothering doing anything gaming related. Bomber jackets for cans. God. Bomber jackets for cans. What are they doing? Where is, I need to see this thing. It's sold out. Look at this, a Be Kind Halo shirt. Get the hell out of here. What, Be Kind to 343? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Look at this, I Heart Xbox. Wow, they're wild in here. They're getting those people ready for FanFest. They're getting ready, because those are the only people who be buying this stuff. I do like this OG Xbox, when Xbox really gave a shit. I do like this OG stuff. That's pretty cool. I like this OG Xbox stuff. That's simple, nice, and it's actually like sweatpants. What ABXY? Holy Jesus! But where is this pucker that I need to see? I gotta look up a puck. What? They got Battletoads stuff? Get the Battletoads. You destroy that franchise. This is what I mean. You destroy your franchises. Nobody's gonna buy a drinkware. A mystery bag. What's this? Get the hell out of here. Phil Ness Game Pass bag. Get the hell out. Hey, new releases. Let's see. This might be where it is. Might be where this Parker jacket can warmer thing. Holy shit! Oh.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Sold
Holy Spirit,
out.
Activate. Activate.
Sold out. Frog,
These
it
clowns will
is
buy
sold
anything.
out. $23 for a look at this thing.
These clowns buy anything, man. I'm telling you, they buy everything except for games.
What? Sold out? This is sold out. Mystery bag of bullshit.
I don't have a dog in a fight anymore for them, man. They buy
Dude.
bullshit.
It's
They
sold
buy
out.
bullshit.
It is friggin' sold out.
Yep. Buy
Add some
bullshit, man.
flair to your winter drinkware wardrobe with cozy puff and parka. The faux fur lined hood. You
Damn
can't even give me real fur,
fucking
fake
fart.
fur. Hood brings a touch of glamour to a timeless classic. This diva will keep your drink cold and
number
look
one customer.
fabulous.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy
Oh, no.
Spirit,
Oh, no.
activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate. Activate.
What are we doing here? What the hell is wrong with them? I'm like this. I don't know what to say. It comes in gray. The Claymores goes, Xbox management must think their fans only care about trailers and weird gear because that's all they're getting this gen. Dude, that's all they're doing. Oreos and this stuff, like, this is ridiculous. That mystery bag probably is empty. Phil has a thing in there saying, I'm excited about what I didn't put in this bag. Goddamn mystery bag. I would never buy a mystery bag from that whole goddamn Phil Ness's. That's the Phil Ness bag. It's empty. It comes in gray. Oh gosh. What are we doing here? Oh my god. Oh, his and her. This is oh, the chat's wilding. This is just
Another one.
goddamn falut. No, what Kratos? No, they're gonna create a box so you can repackage up your Xbox and just like put it in the corner somewhere. They're gonna make it. They're gonna resell you the box. The falut. Get him, falut. Tell me where all this bullshit's coming from. Falut. Get him, Phil. Phil with the wig. Get him. Woohoo. Goddamn falut. Look at him. There goes Phil. There he is. Don't look at me at the Game Awards. I got a performance to do. Get him, Phil. Give it to him. That is the smallest friggin' flute I've ever seen. Pause. Goddamn Phil blowing on a 6-incher. The hell out of here. Get this trash off my screen. This is goddamn a joke. What a joke. I want to see if they have any Starfield memorabilia. I'm going to call them, look at this. There's the Phil Ness bag. You want to order one of these things. You pay $60 for this bag. It comes to your house empty. And there's a message saying, I'm excited for what I didn't put in this bag. That's what happens. I'm here all night. God, let's see if they have any Starfield stuff. Wasteland. Dude, there are a Wasteland. What do you mean? Like they have that's IP. Like they were actually people really care about some of this stuff. Best sellers. I don't even want to see what the best sellers are. Holy shit! The best seller is the mystery bag. Oh my god! Frog, the bestseller is the thing that they don't know what's in there. Dude, it is a microcosm of Game Pass. This is it. The bestseller is the mystery bag. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Games to our platform, because in the end I think the gamers play the games.
Of course they do.
They don't play the studios.
That
They
is
don't
true.
play the resolution numbers, right? They play the games, and we want to make sure the best games are there.
But if you're
Ain't nobody got time for that.
The mystery bag is the bestseller. Uh-oh. Kratos says type in Starfield. They like what they don't know they're getting. It writes itself. Trisam, I swear to God. This is it. This is ridiculous. This is it. The Claymores. 5 equals Xbox management must think their fans only care about trailers. Oh, wait. I already read that one. Where's another one I got here? Subtext. He goes, the state of Xbox is more bleak than the post-apocalyptic world of The Last of Us. Dude, it's sliding downhill. I agree, Sub. Like, this is ludicrous. This is ludicrous. The best-selling product on there is not even, it's a mystery bag. Holy shit. Somebody said Booty's underwear's in there. Holy. Booty's underwear's.
Let me see you jump to get up, booty. Let me see you jump to get up, booty. Let me see you jump to get up, booty. Let me see you jump to get up, booty. Let me see you jump to get up, booty. Let me see you jump to get up, booty. No.
Oh, man. People are sending me crazy stuff now. This derailed everything. What is this? Xbox, the Gucci bag. What the hell? $10,000? Was that for each? $1 for each person they laid off? Holy Jesus. Pause. That is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. There's nothing else. There's a Gucci bag for $10,000. Wait, I'm gonna type in Starfield. Then I'm leaving this trash.
Relax. You've been erased.
Oh my goodness.
You have me right. Con men, thieves, degenerates, lowlifes, thugs, criminals.
Starfield. Frog, you know what happens when I type in Starfield?
Game over.
Nothing. It's 0. Way to build a brand. Oh my god.
It's Mega Man. She's gone from suck to blow.
Oh man. It's a Starfield. Wait, I want to type in. Let's type in Redfall. Let's see. They might have something for Redfall. Nope. Crickets. What about Phil's favorite? What about Phil's favorite franchise? Crackdown 3. Nothing in there. Nothing for Crackdown 3. Way to go. Oh, Jesus. This has been derailed. They sent me the link. Well, I can't believe that is a real thing, and I can't believe it's sold out. This is grind. This is just absolutely insane. Insane that it is sold out. What are you doing here? I need to know. What are we doing here? Speaking about Game Pass, so Atomic Heart released, and it releases tomorrow. And I was gonna ask if anybody's getting it, but it seems like it gets a lot of mixed reviews here. And again, it sits. So it's sitting at a 78 right now in for PC with 18 critic reviews. Again, the suspect stuff. These games in Game Pass get these very low. Exactly right. Little Hog. It is more expensive than Game Pass. And then on Series X, let's see. Oh man, 72. Whoa, what is that? PC. What about PlayStation? Why? This is what I don't get. I don't get Frog. If you could, Frog, this is gonna grind your gears. Here we go. Ready? Oh, Frog is ready. PC has 18 critic reviews at 78. All right. Xbox Series X. This game is in Game Pass. This is Frog's favorite studios, a Focus Entertainment. He loves Focus. 15 Xbox Series X reviews, 72. And then PlayStation 5, 26 critic reviews at a 74. Matty B says a 75 on Open Critic. But we know we have our friends. We know our friends over at Series X. We have Xbox the Ocho, Xbox Generation, Xbox here we are. Here they are. And here they are, our good friends over here. Generation Xbox, Xbox Era, and Somos Xbox. The typical 3 C's of reviews. Always pulling up the high reviews for guys. It's in Game Pass. Why not? Where's Xbox the Ocho? Oh, pure Xbox. True achievements. You guys can get off the rooftop party list. Game Rant gave it a well, if it wasn't for Game Rant and pure Xbox, these guys, Generation Xbox, I gotta see what they got to say. Because I'm always excited about Xbox Generation. We need to translate this Xbox Generation. Because I want to see what they're saying at Xbox Generation. And then I should do, let's see, because you know, it's not reviewed about, listen, we're going to do a little test here, Grinders. A little test. We're going to use our little, our 2 eyes and go, let's see, are we reviewing the game for the game? And will there be a mention of Game Pass in the review? What is that? Let's do a little grinds a poll here with what's going to do a poll? Will Game Pass be mentioned in Generation Xbox's review? In this review, let's see. We're gonna do a little grinds thing here. All right. Will Game Pass be factored into this review? Let's see. First, let's get what the grinders are going to vote on, and then we'll do a search. What is it, F5 or something? What the hell is that? What is the search? Put it. How do you find a thing? Find a thing. What is it, F11? No, it's not F11. That's a full screen. I'll give you some music to cool down your throats. A new song as you vote for. Is Game Pass going to be mentioned in this article? Let's see.
My family is filled and booty for trash, but it's great on Sweden.
World premiere. It's a drinking game. All right, let's see. Hold on. Let's what the grind is. Will Game Pass be mentioned in here? I gotta do find. Where is it? How is it? There it is. Control F. There we go. So now let's see. Oh, I'll get to Kratos 99 goes, damn, Jez, the Xbox expansion card costs $360. What the LOL. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's one of my topic lists. If we get through it, man, I got derailed by the freaking cozies. The parka that Phil said he would put out. I swear, Phil's rocking that parka during at E3, dude. Let's see what the grinders are saying. We got the Grindhouse votes in here. Holy.
You're my #1 customer.
52 votes. Well, it'll stop it at 60, but I think we got a winner right now. 87% of the grinders say there will be a mention of Game Pass in this review from Generation Xbox. So Game Pass will be a factor in their 83.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. I didn't mute you, though. You must have muted yourself.
No, I was talking the whole time, and I was like, wait, we're talking over
I did
each other.
not hear you at all.
You hear me? Yeah, because when you started talking about Atomic Hearts, I actually was saying something, but so basically what I was saying is like, I think Atomic Hearts is, probably a solid 7, like from what most reviewers are saying, right? Well, hear me out.
No, wait, I'm searching for Game Pass now, and everybody seems to be wrong. Wow,
like
Game Pass.
A lot of games would come out, but one reviewer said, and here we go again. A couple of reviewers said there's a lot of technical issues in this game.
Yes, right here.
A lot of technical issues in this game. But for some reason, this game is scoring, and I'm not mad at it. It's something I'm going to buy day one. No, I never. As soon as I seen Focus Home Interactive, I was like, I'm not buying this game. Anything Focus publishes or makes looks like trash. This game
you're not a fan of
doesn't
Focus.
look bad, but no, it doesn't look bad. But what I will say is like, I don't get all from the creators of BioShock and from the minds of Bio. I don't care. It's not BioShock. Like, come on now. So I didn't expect this game to have a big budget, but what I did expect is once they said it was going to Game Pass, I'm like, I think the only game that's going to Game Pass that I think is actually going to move the needle and be semi-decent is Wulong. That's it.
Wulong.
I think everything else is going to Game Pass. It's there just to be there.
Grinders, you're wrong. Frog, they're wrong. You just said about Game Pass. Generation Xbox did not put the word Game Pass in their review.
Wow. That's first.
Shout out to Generation Xbox. There we go. So they did not do it. Let's see if our good friends at Xbox Era have done it. Let's see. Let's see if our good friends at Xbox Era have done it. Game Pass. Well, there you go. It's mentioned 12 goddamn times. Oh, it's in the chat though. Okay.
Okay.
It's not in the review. Holy, I thought it was like 12 goddamn times. Wait a second. What did they say? I think. All right, nothing that's in Game Pass. I think people are wising up a little bit here. Oh no, here it is. Oh, I did it wrong. It's Game Pass with 2 words, not one word. It's 2 words. It's mentioned 5 goddamn times.
Come on now, we already know what's going to happen.
Son of a bitch.
And you can play it now in Game Pass.
Hell, there it is, and it's in the conclusion. There it is. Well, Xbox Era, there you go. It's an excellent game, an incredible debut from Mindfish. Clever story. It's amazing. Hell, it's on Game Pass. Go pre-install it. Oh, just when we thought there was credibility.
We already know what's going on.
Just when we thought. Now I got to check them now.
You got to mention that it's in Game Pass. And if you score high, we already know what's going on.
There you go.
There are 3 guys that I trust, and they said the game is a mess. Technically, it's a mess.
Game Pass is only listed in the title. All right, Generation Xbox, they get props. They did not mention it, but you got Xbox Era to sell out.
Buy it, but not day one.
Let's see Somos Xbox if they. Let's see if they. What the hell is this? Whatever. Let's see what they'd said. Let's see if they found on page Game Pass. It says 5 of them. Oh yeah. Yep. There it all is. Somos Xbox sell in the first goddamn paragraph. It arrives directly to Game Pass as a great incentive. Oh damn. In their review. Oh. What time will it be available on Game Pass? Oh shit. Oh, man. Yep. Oh, there it is again. Is it in the review? I'm sure it's always in the. Yep, there it is. Best of all, Atomic Heart comes out to Game Pass. If you're a subscriber of the service, you can see for yourself everything that we're talking about. If not, like, the game is great. Go play it. Don't buy it. Subscribe. I don't get it. I don't get it. This logic.
Oh, it's like us too. Games are coming fast.
Let's see. I got the correct box.
And they're all on Game Pass. Some of them like a Requiem.
13 times. Oh, God. Is it in the review? Jesus. This is a commercial for Game Pass. Let's see. Better not see it in here. Now, they didn't give it, they gave it a 7 out of 10.
I'm not gonna say the game's probably bad. Based on what they're saying, the game seems like it's a solid 7. When I play it, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this. Focus Home. No.
Focus
Like
on
that is as soon as I see Focus Home in there, I'm like, nope. I don't really like anything they publish or make. It seems like they just publish and they develop poor quality games. I know they didn't make this. I think they published it, but there again, and once I seen Focus Home, I was like, yeah, that just turned me off. I haven't really played a game I can think of with them with their game, and I'm like, yo, this is such a well-made game. Everything I usually play there seems really lackluster. So I will get the game eventually, but I'm not gonna rush out and buy it. I never was. Not because it was in Game Pass or anything. I just think that once I saw it, what it was, I was like, oh, I'll get around to it when I get around to it.
Yeah, one of the
there's
things.
Too many games coming out that I want to play other than this.
Yeah, we got exactly. And the other thing too is like this aspect. If you're comparing it to BioShock, the fact that it's saying here one of the cons is it lacks alternate ways to fight or avoid enemies. That's kind of like BioShock was the whole thing is that you could basically you'd have alternative ways of fighting people. Like that was kind of one of the depending on how you wanted to approach a situation. So that's kind of, I don't know.
I listened to Skillup's review, and I don't like everything Skillup said, right? But with this game, he did say it was a game. It's like, I hate it and love it at the same time, but he's like,
that's
it's
what the reviews look like.
And a couple of people said the same thing that I trust. They said the game is technically a mess. There's a lot of glitchy bugs in it, and there's some bland parts of the game. And I'm like, I guess I'll see when I get it. People said the same thing about Forspoken. And then when I played it, I was like, damn, I actually like this game. So I may get this game. I may love it. I may say, nah, they're kind of tripping, or it might just be the 7 they say it is. And I don't expect this game to be a 9 or 10. But you're always going to get those outliers who give this game a good score and they're going to mix in Game Pass. And I think when you kind of,
I give credit to Generation on Xbox and True Achieve and one of the other Xbox channels, but the other one Xbox never sold out.
When you have they
put it in their conclusion.
The service, yeah, when you mention this in the service,
you can't put the service in the conclusion. No.
Yeah, I think that's a little disingenuous. You should the game should be rated on its own merits, but it seems like if it's in Game Pass, they're definitely going to make sure because they want engagement. They want engagement. They don't care for sales. They just want engagement.
Yeah,
you just made the list.
And look, it'll probably come out and Digital Foundry will do a comparison and say, damn, this thing actually plays and runs better on a PlayStation 5. And it's not no fanboy shit. We've seen this time after time. Everything seems to run better over on Sony's side. Don't know why.
That's on next. I got that. We're gonna do that next. Segue. Hit that like button, grinders. Yo, shout out to Donnell Brown being a VIP grinder. Welcome to the Grindhouse. VIP spotting with Herman Holtz. Welcome, Donnell Brown, to the VIP grinders. And guys, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. We're on our way to 2,000. If you're new here. Over 200 people watching. There's a lot of craziness going on here. We're hyped up of PSVR 2. But yeah, I would say Atomic Heart. I put a poll out there if you're excited for it. We'll see what they say. I'm holding off on it right now. We know what's coming out this week, and yeah. Sometimes it looks pretty cool, but not right now. I'll wait for this because I'm still doing Hogwarts and PSVR. I'm not running into this thing. Maybe try it on Game Pass. I don't know. Like maybe when Redfall comes to Game Pass, you throw this in. I have no clue, but I would say their biggest get for Game Pass, like Hi-Fi was a good one to put in there, but that's not a big get. I would think the biggest one that they had was I think Wolong, like Frog was saying, maybe that would be a big one that's going in there day one. But we will see. So move on from there. But yeah, but Frog, one of the things I wanted to point out on here was like it's so weird that the PS5 has 26 Metacritic reviews and the Series X has 15. And the PlayStation and then the PC has 18. Like the PlayStation 5 has the most reviews.
We already know what's going on with that. We already know what's going on with that. The PlayStation will always get for some reason or another, they will always get all these reviews, and we'll be sitting here like, how are they getting more views than Xbox or PC? It's because these guys want to make sure to let you know, like, if the game is bad, and especially if it's multi-plat, they're gonna make the PlayStation version look bad. It's asinine stuff.
I
understand. Really
I think it's kind of weird though for the whole thing that these reviews is something like it's just strange as hell. So speaking about segue, going into this 12 teraflop thing going on here, Hogwarts. Digital Foundry held out because of some drama, but they finally did their Digital Foundry assessment review, and let's hear how Xbox is running this game.
Targets 60 frames per second.
Let's hear it.
The performance mode targets 60 frames per second, as you may expect, though on Series X in particular, it's very shaky. Dropped frames are a near constant annoyance here, alongside deep stutters in more populated areas, and it really doesn't feel stable at all. So yes, to answer the obvious question, the inconsistency can be smoothed out if you have your Series X connected to a display with VRR capabilities, but this only works to a certain extent, and I could still see some of the more substantial stutters even with VRR enabled. Fidelity quality. The performance mode.
Okay, that's performance mode all over the place. You see that thing? It looks like a friggin' roller coaster.
X in particular is very shaky.
It is all over the place. This is performance mode, supposed to be targeting 60 frames.
Deep stutters in more populated
areas. Remember really Phil was like, we want you to feel the games. We want to feel the games. You have to feel. It's about feeling games. Look at the frame rate all over the goddamn place. Now you can say, hey, this might be just the developers. Blame the devs, right? Blame the devs. Well, let's see it. Let's hear what PlayStation's doing.
Move on then. PlayStation 5 delivers the same visual feature set as Xbox Series X, as confirmed by the developers here.
Same visual features as the Series X. So the PS5 is not running anything less than the Series X. Same visual features. Let's see how it runs.
We're looking at the same modes, the same dynamic resolution ranges, the same settings for each mode, and the same frame rate targets. With that said, however, this version offers up a significantly more consistent experience than its Series X counterpart. Performance mode still isn't perfect, but it's nearly locked to 60 frames per second. At worst, it might drop a handful of frames when crossing a challenging loading threshold. The fidelity and fidelity with ray tracing options, on the other hand, do seem to be a locked 30 frames per second. It's very difficult to get them to drop at all. PS5's balance mode is similarly a decent performer, hitting a close to locked 40 frames per second with only rare frame rate drops. The HFR performance mode is more or less a match for Series X though, delivering the same unlocked frame rate range from 60 frames per second upwards. Again, if you feel so Okay, let's move on then. PlayStation
locked. So Frog, what is going on here? This is like the PlayStation's running everything the same. He said everything the same, and everything is locked. And it is like a little dip here or there. That Xbox one, do you see like when he's like, oh, there's a little dip here when the guy opens up a door? Look at this. It's locked. In performance mode and in high fidelity mode. Locked. Locked. Look, that little dip of 2 frames, that little dip. Just look at the chart. Look at the blue line. Right? Look at the blue line. And now let's go look. Just look at the blue line. Make sure everybody gets a little screenshot snap visual of this. Okay, and now let's go look at the Xbox mode. Ready? Now everybody go look at the hell. Now let's look at the Xbox line. Look at the Xbox line. Ready? Let's look at the green line. We saw the blue line. Now let's look at the look. Look at the green line. Here, he's running through Hogsmeade. Look at this. He's running around the thing. Dude is dropping up 10 frames, 5 frames, like dips. You feel these stutters. These are not, you would feel this stuff, dude. Playing the game, you would feel this kind of jitter. Like, it is not smooth at all. Look at the jitter. Look at all this stuff going on. It went to 47, 41. The guy showed it. Look, what are we doing here? This is a 12 teraflop machine. They both CPUs. Dude, what are we doing here? What's going on with Xbox? Like, I don't like, this is not 900p and 1080p. It is a roller coaster, right? This is not 900p and 1080p. We're talking about 100p. This is not this. This is performance. This is frame rates. This changes how you experience a game, right? This is much more important than resolution. You know, that whole 900p, 1080p thing, that was a little comical, especially with dynamic resolution. But when you have frame rates fluctuating like this, and this is not the only case, this has been going on time and time again with third-party games where the performance is hurt on the Xbox. The Xbox has weird stutters, has some strange frame rate drops, weird grass is not showing up, foliage is not in the thing, a strange pop-in, strange hitches. And it's like, why? Why? Strange, like, and then the Xbox performance is in question, and the PlayStation just running it smooth as butter. Smooth as butter.
Number one customer.
Kratos, the 5, he goes, but Jez, Colt Eastwood said that the Series X has more powerful GPU and T-flops. They talked about deltas and the tools.
That was sus.
Dude, they just talked about out their ass on paper, hyping up the tech, and they didn't know what the hell they were talking about. They believe this Microsoft hype bandwagon of power. Notice the Series X. Where is it? Is it being marketed with Xbox? No. I find the Series S being more marketed by Xbox. Get your Series S. Get Game Pass. World's most powerful console. Have you heard those lines since the thing launched? Have you heard the word teraflops since the Series X is in your house, in your hands?
Nope, you won't.
You don't? I haven't heard it.
You know, I haven't even seen games. They I don't know what's going on. I guess, like I said, I don't really have a big horse in that fight. I just think that I don't know what's going on over there. They just, oh man. But I can tell you this. I gave my Series X to somebody I knew who would play it.
Gave it away.
You know what they play on it? Freaking $500 console, fucking 12 teraflops of power. Of all things, all they play on this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I gave it to my friend's son. All he plays on is Roblox. That's all he plays.
Roblox. Well, that's one of the top 50 games. It's the top 10 game.
I was like, why do you play Roblox? He was like, it's pretty good. And I was like, wow, this is what Xbox has become. Roblox.
Well, Roblox probably runs great on it because the rest of the third-party games don't run great. Like, the problem is, Froxy,
Roblox, man.
The issue is that the problem is that we bring this up is because, like, what everybody's saying in the chat, they're saying like this 12 teraflops, ray tracing, our DNA, Phil's DNA baked on a chip. Pause. Oh my goodness. Phil's DNA there. Like, the thing is that this thing was marketed for over a year as Project Scarlet, as the most powerful console. You feel the power, and you'll feel this.
Customer.
Log Hogue 99 with the 2. He goes, in Mark Cerny we trust. Yeah, remember Mark Cerny's boring ass thing, dude? Exactly. Mark Cerny, PlayStation made a system to play games. Xbox made a system to I don't know what the hell they got you doing in this thing. But this thing is a goddamn roller coaster all over the place. But like, yeah, where's let's see, film project, Scarlet, frame rate. Wait, wait, I'm gonna give you a good visual here, Frog. Yeah. You want to hear some Phil Ness grinders? Hit that like button.
This video is being brought to you.
No, I don't want to listen to his ass. Where is it?
You're my #1 customer.
Frame rate. Wait, I'm gonna get a good Phil Ness for everybody. Good Phil Ness. Where are you, Phil? Here he is. 2018. Here's some good Phil Ness. Want some good oozing Phil Ness? We'll get you right here.
On X, they didn't lay off their whole hardware team. Like, what do you think they're doing?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like when people ask me, is there
a
ton of State of Decay? You'd sell, and whether it was price point of the retail game when it came.
In the case of Sea of Thieves, like it is like
change in the stance. Like, I get the business side of it.
Yeah. Right.
You want to play anywhere.
We're gonna find some Phil Ness.
Doesn't seem the consoles I said that we have in the market. Same team focused on building things in the future. I wanted to make sure I said that on stage, and I know there's risk in doing that. You know, the business people are like, hey, wait a minute. As soon as you say that, everybody's gonna stop buying what you're selling now. But I'd rather be as transparent as I can be about what our plans are.
Yeah, and I don't think you pie in the sky. Think about like
what does he say? He says
fast start.
Yeah.
The quote's right here. But I want him saying
something.
Build and so that's when we started the discussion. I wanted to get ahead of studios. I was still I'm selfish. I like my time with the first party studios.
Yeah.
But I asked Matt Booty, who was running Minecraft, for us to go run our first party organization. That landed at the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. And we just started looking at studios that we thought had a very high creative capability, where coming into an organization that could invest more in them, give them more XO2 or something. If you think about Nina and Tamim at playing, we have where they were going. We know what the date is.
At least the Halo beta is in there, and then you play it and go,
oh, fair.
Yeah, it's
respect for.
Yeah, I think it's
Rod, and we messed with the order. We said, you want to
Phil,
start
where
with
is it? The Phil Ness.
Right,
the quote's right here. He goes, I think frame rate is an area where consoles can do more, said Xbox boss. When you look at the balance between CPU and GPU in today's consoles, they're a little out of whack due to what's available on the PC side. So transparent, Phil.
And so now we have that countdown clock up somewhere, just like, well, available for the number of acquisitions, and you start to piece together what you had said about streaming and all.
Launch Game Pass last year, and you look at the long-term strategy there.
2017 launched Game Pass. This is 2018.
Games accessible to people who, for some reason, whether it was price point of the retail game when it came out, or they didn't. It was.
Oh, here's this finesse about
launch,
Game Pass buying stuff.
See this game when it came out, and we see that in Game Pass today. I mean, people in Game Pass. There's two stats that always surprise me. One,
here it is.
I think on a monthly average, a Game Pass player plays 4 or 5 more games than a non-Game Pass player. They just go and click, which is, and they're more games. So that's not their total game. They're playing a lot more games. They're also buying more games, which at first I'm like, that surprised me. Okay, you're in Game Pass, but what happens is just as they're turning on their console more, obviously, to go play more games.
Right.
They're getting connected to more friends. That's also true of people in Game Pass. And then they go out and buying more games, even though they're part of this subscription. And we're continuing, as you said, to add games to Game Pass. And then you take the next leap and says, okay, for a customer where paying $60 for a retail game isn't really part of what they can either afford or just their lifestyle right now.
Right.
Does that model open up opportunities on other devices? Absolutely, I think it does. I think PC is an obvious place for us to go because we're Windows.
Of course.
Our PC portfolio in Game Pass today is not great. So we'd need to go do more work there before I'd want to launch it and try to like get you to sign up or something.
Right. Yeah.
And then you take that and you say, okay, I've got this service that can go to any device. I think that just opens up opportunities for developers because, like I said before, if I'm a developer of a game that is locked to a couple devices, all of a sudden I'm in this service that reduces kind of business model friction on people.
Business model friction. Yeah, this is nothing to do with the frame rate. He says frame rate in here, but we got some goods right here. You got the words right out of his mouth. People buy more games in Game Pass. A Game Pass person buys more games. He said that. There you go. There's the line. Grinders, I pulled it right from it. There it is. We got more. Let's keep going. Let's talk about frame rate.
Playing more games.
Phil Ness.
And reaches more devices. The other thing I'll say on Game Pass with Sea of Thieves and State of Decay, too, the two games we've launched in, it's just 2
You're my
games,
number
so
one customer.
We have like complete data. But on those 2 games, we sold more copies of those games than we expected. Like
Interesting.
I mean, we have our internal forecast.
Yeah.
You can't do an A/B test of what if it was in and what if it was out. So I don't have the before and after on both scenarios. But I guess people just have to trust me, whatever that means for a video game exec. But that we had our forecast for how many copies of Sea of Thieves we were going to sell, and we sold more than we did, significantly more. And the same thing was true of State of Decay, even though both of them were in Game Pass.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess on some level that makes sense because if you look at both games, they are, in the case of Sea of Thieves, like it is like a social experience.
Yeah.
If you've got more of your friends playing that game because they're in Game Pass or because they bought.
See, the problem with this whole thing is that he was using these games, and I guess at the time, that's what he did. But the problem is that this was a time of transition and people were using this as a sales pitch for Game Pass. See what Phil said, more people buy games in Game Pass. We sold more games of Game Pass. We sold more games of Sea of Thieves and State of Decay, and they were in Game Pass. See, I'm going to tell you what the answer was right here, Grinders, and I'm going to tell you my own 2 eyeballs. The thing is that Sea of Thieves and State of Decay were announced prior to them going into Game Pass. They were pre-ordered and they were able to go. People were still buying games at that time. Like people who wanted to buy the game did it. So therefore, the game would have sold more because it was people still buying the game and Game Pass. Now, when you look at it, what is this, 2018, 2022, 23? Now you condition people to not even pre-order or buy the game. Now they just wait for it in Game Pass. You've conditioned them to not even buy the game. So that statement that he said back there was based off of when people were still not familiar with Game Pass. And the other issue is that they had promotions for the Xbox Live people, the people that buy and spend the most money on Xbox to convert to Game Pass. They converted their main creme de la creme people who buy the most. So now you take people who keep buying games, right? The people that were there that would buy Gears, and like me, I bought Gears 4 for $100, right? I bought it. Now, if I subscribe to Game Pass, you took your gamers that actually buy games, and you made them learn not to buy games. But what you did was you converted them to Game Pass. And you made down that person now. It's like, oh, well, that person always bought games before. Now they just happen to be a Game Pass subscriber. So you can't say Game Pass made them buy more games because I want to know, were they buying games before they went into Game Pass? And he won't detail. But he's talking out of he's lying through his nose right now because they targeted their primary gamers to move to Game Pass. That's what happened. They targeted their primary gamers. They told dudes that had Xbox Live for 11 years, hey, Xbox Live, you can upgrade to 3 years of Game Pass for $1. So everybody that was already in the system turned into Game Pass subscribers. And Phil was like, look,
that was it.
They're buying more. Dude, they were buying more before. Now they're Game Pass members. You can't say Game Pass is making them buy more. If that makes sense. I like the thing is basically taking the same type of person and telling that they're a Game Pass subscriber and now they're buying more. No, dude, they were always buying. Now, because you look at what their marketing was, upgrade for $1. They didn't target Timmy and the people like in the field, little Timmy and the people that didn't know about gaming. They targeted their main customer, their core audience. They went right to their core audience, the people that had Sea of Thieves pre-ordered already, and said, now you will be a Game Pass subscriber. Wow, Game Pass made them buy more. No, it didn't, dude. They were already buying it. You're just labeling them as a Game Pass subscriber now, but they're the same customer. But what you've done now is that you taught that customer over the last 4 years, they don't have to buy anymore. And now that customer now has either went away or that customer now is a freeloader and just waits for shit in Game Pass. So, yeah, Frog, what were you going to say? Oh, I'm going to end my poll here.
I was saying you're right. Like they're at a point now that Game Pass is the end all be all of everything. And if you don't subscribe to what they're saying Game Pass is, then you just, you're not gonna like it. And I think it's okay, right? But they can't expect for the Game Pass, for their user base to grow because of a service. That isn't the way gaming works. We digest and we do games differently. I hate when I hear people, and I'm gonna honestly tell you where I hear this mostly at, because I have a friend. He has a PS5. He has a PC and he has a Series X, which I told him, if you got a PC, I don't understand why you bought a Series X. And he was like, oh man, for Game Pass. I was like, well, just play it on your PC. He was like, well, I got an Xbox for the games, on the PC for the games I can't play. And I was like, what's the point? Just play everything on your PC. Like everything comes with Game Pass. And he's like, yeah, man, Game Pass is like the best thing in gaming. I was like, why? And you know what his answer is? You know his answer is? His answer is, because I get to just try out games I might not like and don't waste my money on them. I said, well, you can look at a game from a standpoint and say, damn, I don't think I'm gonna like this. I said, but the other thing is, you don't have to play every game day one. I don't buy everything day one. I said I sit back and I kind of wait for sales for some games, and I buy the ones I know I really want to play. I do my better judgment of them, and I research the game. I said, he's like, oh, you don't understand, man. You got to see what's coming to Game Pass. They got Atomic Hearts. They got the new Minecraft game. They got, what did he say? They got Wulong, and it was one other game. And I was like, well, every game you name with the exception of, it was the Vampire one. I said, every game you name with the exception of one of them is a multiplat. I said, so it's going to sell. If it's going to sell, it's going to sell better on PlayStation anyway. Number one. Number two, and I said, this is not fanboy shit. This is just truth. I said, number two, are you going to play the Minecraft game? He was like, I don't like that shit. So why are you happy it's coming to Game Pass? I said, are you going to play?
Well, that's why I dropped off the top 50.
He's like, I'm like, you going to play Atomic Hearts? Man, I'm not interested in that. So everything coming to Game Pass, with the exception of, I think, like Wulong, he's like, yeah, I'm not interested in that game. See, I said, that's the problem. People like you, and I kind of look at him as a PC guy. He was a former Xbox guy.
Mm-hmm.
He just bought PlayStation. His first PlayStation system was a PS4. And the only reason he went to PS4 because Xbox One was doing so bad. So now he is basically, his feelings are hurt because Xbox is basically dead. And his whole thing is, oh man, you should
get it lives on the Game Pass.
I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is with guys who are former Xbox guys. They go to PCs, build a PC, and say, you should get a PC. Dude, but then I can't play. And then, hold on,
they got chased off, dude.
Well, this is what I said. I can't play all my PlayStation games and Nintendo games there. You know what they tell me? Oh, this emulate the Switch games and the PlayStation games will eventually come to PC anyway.
Yeah.
I want to wait for them.
Hold your breath, dude. That's what I say.
I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there with you guys.
Dude, that is like, that dude is one of those people that don't do. He don't play games. He don't give a shit, dude.
He doesn't play. No, he doesn't play games. I know he doesn't play games. I called him on his trophies for shit he's bought. I'm like, yo, you bought Dead Space.
He don't care about games like that.
A game that you could, and I told him, I said, you bought Dead Space for $70. A game that runs at 900p, freaking 60 frames, and you didn't even play it yet. He's like, I'll get around to it. I said, that's the problem. Like with you guys are weirdos.
They may kick it as nuts and move on, Frog.
Dude, these guys are weirdos.
But Frog, the thing is
what happened to days of just playing games?
But just what you said, Frog, like
weirdos, man.
Yeah, what you said is the same thing. Like they hype up Game Pass. They hype up these mediocre games coming to Game Pass that they don't care about, right? But what's interesting is that I would say, look at the top 50 games. The games that people want to play, like Dead Space, like Callisto Protocol, like Hogwarts, Those games are not in Game Pass and will not
Nope.
be there
And
at
look where they're
launch.
selling at.
So who
Look
is
where
the
they're
fool paying $180 a year,
Yep.
capping for a service that gives you mediocre shit that you really don't care about? That's why you like Game Pass,
know-
because it lets
you
you
know the
try
sad
out
thing is,
games.
guys?
See, Frog, one second, I want to finish this. It's like Atomic Heart, 88% of the people said no, 11 said yes. The thing is that the game is, look at the rating of the game. It is a hit or miss. It's like, yeah, you might like it, you might not. It's a meh. Meh games going into Game Pass is not going to make Game Pass successful. And people go, well, why is Atomic Heart getting the hate? The reason why it's getting the hate is because people are capping for it because it's in Game Pass. But when you see the rating that it's getting, games like this is exactly what we said Game Pass will get. Those meh games that are kind of like, you maybe get a gem here or there, but it's games that you really are like, there's no must-play games in Game Pass coming out that they need to know. That's the problem. The problem is that they need these must-play games, the Hogwarts, the things that everybody wants. That has to be in Game Pass. They're not in there.
A lot of these guys,
you got to buy them anyway.
Realize,
so who's the fool?
A lot of these guys didn't really start gaming hard in their conversation with Xbox until Xbox One.
Well, I feel bad for them.
They own 360. They realized the Xbox One was, oh shit, this is not a good console. They got a PS4 just to say, well, I own all consoles. I hate those guys who are like, I own all consoles.
Oh, well, that's a fan. That's an Xbox fan, a refugee.
Bottom line is, I can sit here and tell you all day that I own the Xbox. I can tell you what I don't like about it. I do like about it. There's a lot of things. There's more I didn't like about it, and it's not from a fanboy's perspective of it. It was just basically like there are a lot of things there are a lot of things not to like about that console. Same with Switch. There's a lot of things I don't like about the console. PlayStation just happened to get it right because they watched what happened. They watched their butt get kicked in the PS3 generation.
Well,
they
fixed themselves. Then that was the whole reason why
we can't come out like this. We got to come out swinging, and they did it reverse. Everything, and I always tell people this: everything that PlayStation 3 did wrong, and Xbox 360 did right. Yeah. PS4 did the same thing, basically what the 360 did, and Xbox One did the reverse. It basically turned into a PS3. It was hard to develop for.
They've turned it around, Frog, and that's the thing. Like everybody thought that the series consoles were going to turn around the fallacies of the Xbox One, it's worse.
I have no love for anything going forward with Xbox anymore. You destroyed one of my freaking franchises I love, Halo. How do you destroy Halo? It's too easy to make a Halo
destroy them
game.
and the studio.
You destroyed that. You destroyed the studio. You destroyed every franchise I used to love that was on Xbox. It was like exclusive. You destroyed it.
Yeah.
You destroyed it by saying, let's throw it in this let's throw it in this service. And once you threw it in the service, you devalue what people really wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
And we said this so long ago.
I know. That's why I bring it up.
These games in Game Pass. You can't look. Let me tell you something. If people think that Sony threw Uncharted and God of War and Spider-Man and Horizon in the service, they make so much more money. No, they actually make less money, and you wouldn't get the quality game you got. Yep. You would not get a quality game like that. They would say, you know what, we're not spending that much to make this guy. Look how much Horizon. Did you see the figures of how much they said Horizon cost to make? Horizon.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
You think we'd be spending that same amount of money if it was in the service?
No,
you wouldn't.
No.
You wouldn't.
That's why I'm saying, that's why I want to see these next games from them.
But the thing is, and it's crazy because we know that these Nintendo and PlayStation games, and easily Nintendo, are going to sell 10 million plus copies. It's not guaranteed for Xbox console games to sell like that anymore because you created a service where everybody say, hey, it's all in one stop shop. You know, it's Blockbuster, Xbox Blockbuster. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that, and they're gonna keep pushing it. And the next thing they're gonna push is all the streaming stuff on TV, and everybody's like, well, Xbox owns the market and streaming. It doesn't matter. It's still not here yet.
Yeah,
it's still not. We're still not ready for that. I just don't. People are stupid, and I think that at the end of the people are stupid. I think at the end of the day, the big casual consumer dictates where the market goes. The hardcore guys like me, I don't really dictate where the market goes. You can tell the casual audience. You look, I got my son has friends who have PlayStation 4s, and they're just waiting to get a PS5 when they can find one. Now that they can find them, they're like, oh, I'm gonna get it, but I'm probably gonna wait till it's $399. So there's a lot of people who haven't bought a PlayStation who own PlayStations, but they're young. Like their first console, true first console may have been like my son. My son is what, going on 20. So his first console he probably like really bought himself was a PS5. That's his first console he bought himself. But then before that it was a PS4. We had a Xbox One, but guess where all his friends were? PlayStation 4. And then it rolled over. I'm telling you, anybody who looks at the history of these consoles from PlayStation 1 to the NES, you can see the writings on the wall. It was just a matter of time. Like if Xbox didn't turn itself around this generation, it's not going to do it.
And you see, this 2018. He's talking about all this stuff in 2018. And I want to get the super chat here. He says, "Did you hear that, Jez? Phil lying. People buy more." Yep, he says it right here. There it is. He's saying people buy more based off of Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. Let me tell you something. We were on. I remember y'all playing Xbox. They did not have any faith in State of Decay. I heard you talk about Source. I heard internally they had no faith in State of Decay. And in Sea of Thieves, they had no faith in Sea of Thieves.
No faith.
No, and then all of a sudden, when the beta hit, they saw how many people playing the beta, and then all of a sudden they put some marketing behind it. But at first, so I don't even know what his initial sales expectations were of it. But it just seems like a lot of these games, even this long in Atomic Heart, right? These games, these publishers seem to be like, dude, I don't know how this is going to do in the market. Like, you know what? Maybe we'll take the Microsoft bag and put it in Game Pass.
Let's go to the wall and see if it sticks. That's what they're doing over there.
And it's, and the thing is like,
you can't do it like that.
And thanks, Kratos, for the super chat. Like,
you can't do it like that.
Exactly.
If you think that you're going to release game and throw it against the wall to see what sticks, you're in the wrong business, Microsoft.
But that doesn't do Game Pass. But Game Pass is now becoming that area of this uncertainty of like, hey, like look at Octopath Traveler. The first game, the people they didn't know what it was going to be like. It went into Game Pass. The second one, not even in Game Pass. Why? Because
they know nobody was playing in Game Pass. That's why.
And they know that they're probably going to sell a shit ton of games of Octopath Traveler too. And they're like, you know what? We're not going Game Pass this time. We're not even going Xbox. They said that's how crazy that is.
They already know when they put that on the Switch, and if they had put on the first one in place, it would have sold. Games don't sell.
They learned their lesson.
Just not because Xbox is trash, is because you have a service that you have hundreds and hundreds of games.
It's a fail-safe.
I can't play 100 games at the same time. If you give me a really badass game, I'll play that one, right? But if you throw a whole bunch of mediocre shit at me, I'll just try it out and move on to the next one.
That's what Game Pass has turned into the safety net, the trapeze artist safety net, a publisher's safety net, where it's like, hey, you know what? We'll take the bag from Microsoft, put this in Game Pass. And the thing is that you're getting games that have uncertainty, they have doubt. They're not must-play games. That doesn't make Game Pass quality better. That just makes Game Pass kind of a de facto, let's try it out because I don't have to spend money on it.
Hey, Jazz, here's a question. Outside of Hi-Fi Rush, what's the last game that was a solid 8 or above in Game Pass that they put there that was from anything that they did? Or even anything third party? There have not been too many.
Well, you're talking about Pentiment and shit like that, but like again, it's small. It's little shit,
but see, we already know Pentiment. But Pentiment is not for everybody.
I want to get more into this video thing. For you or not. I want to see more lies if Phil says anything here because we got this whole thing with Game Pass because we got the quote right here where he lied just saying about people buying more, and meanwhile he's not comparing to the same people. But let's see if he talks about the frame
either way.
I just wanted to get finished.
They're going to be more likely to influence you to pick.
Let's go pirate some people, but
when I start and so you
want games to be for sale, and I think it's a great thing when people want to build their video game collection. It was a healthy
message was like, you can't play, you're not critical.
Stop, Phil.
Like it's birthday, whatever. Be a space.
How do you
profit on? Like it's $99.
The Halo Infinite is.
Oh, whoa! What's this Halo Infinite?
If we think we just need one more big first-party impact, we'll get something out of the guys at 343.
It's a good question. The way it actually works is when we start in December, it's usually right before we kind of leave for the holidays, we kind of just take a tally of what all the teams have, both from first party and third party, and see what third-party gaming
Wait,
And it's a piece that's
That
for
Phil
itself.
Ness.
going to happen.
Phil Ness,
this year.
dude.
Is what should I get?
Yeah.
What's
And
up?
The thing
What's
I had
good,
realized
people?
on the
How you
heels
doing,
of
J-Dub?
building, what I felt were
doing
like the best
good,
games
man.
of
Doing good.
2017.
Yo, I just put the video because we were talking about Hogwarts, about the teraflop the frame rate and performance issue,
Yep.
and how Phil was going on with his quote saying that frame rate is an area where the Project Scarlet or the Xbox Series X is going to do more, and we're going to talk about more frames, and that's where we're going to improve on. And meanwhile, this thing is performance stuff has been falling out of the gate. And in playing the video of where he said that quote, he had the whole quote of people buy more games in Game Pass, comparing Sea of Thieves to their initial sales expectations to what there was. And we got him right here, lying through his teeth again, using like early transition times to make judgments of why Game Pass will be great. And maybe he wasn't saying it that Game Pass will be great for the years in this thing, but people use these lines as ways to justify Game Pass. And they're falling with egg on their face because right now you're seeing Game Pass is cannibalizing sales from Microsoft's own mouth. So they use Phil Ness, they use this stuff and use this as Twitter stuff and for their channels and for their message saying, look, it's selling more games. And it's like, you better calm down because it's not, and it doesn't make any sense. And now over these years, you just condition people to do that. But before we move on to the next topic, and we're gonna get into the Xbox expansions and Activision Blizzard stuff. But what did you think of that Hogwarts stuff? You believe this 12 teraflops thing? This frame rate stuff? It's ridiculous.
I'll be honest. I think on paper, the Xbox Series X, it sounds amazing, but in reality, because all the pieces are just not flowing together the way it should. There is no reason that the PS5 is just dog walking the fucking.
Right?
It's at a 2 to 3 teraflop disadvantage, and so I just don't understand that. It's for an extra $100, it's not worth it, man. And I don't understand. Last generation they had the weakest console. This generation they have both the weakest and the strongest, and yet they're still getting dog walked. It's like at this point in time, man, this is the end of the rope, guys. I don't know what more else they can do.
I know. Like but J-Dub, the thing is and I tweeted this to you about like how this is not the 900p to 1080p. This is actual like you're looking at the two things between Hogwarts and the PlayStation, and that is like a definitive advantage to why you would buy a PlayStation version. That is the advantage that people were saying Xbox was going to have with multiplats.
Yeah. Well, I'm still waiting for the 40 and 50 frame deltas.
The deltas. Where those deltas?
The deltas never showed up. Even though, guys, every podcast they say upgrades.
Free. New games, new upgrades.
Yep. It just never manifests itself. And I'm going to be honest. I see this being the last generation for their consoles. They just get out of the console marketing. Tell people to buy PC or play it on their Samsung TV or their cloud streaming device, phone, or whatever. Because it's just,
it really is getting that kind of like I said like this is like the end game for Xbox a few years ago, like when they started making decisions. But I never thought it would get this kind of dire. That I feel like this really like I could see them just fading away because it has gotten so bad. Like they have lost so much mind share. They have lost so much like they are just losing like goodwill and the games and all the promises that they made. They just are not delivering on any of that stuff. Even the features of the console, no new dashboard, no new features. Sony's adding beta updates and changing and taking feedback and adding, feature sets. And actually one thing that Frogs and I did yesterday, now with share screen, with PlayStation in the beta, you could actually share your screen to somebody and you could bounce between different games. It doesn't end it.
Yeah, it doesn't stop it. Yeah.
It doesn't stop it, which is pretty damn cool. Like you could see the full going from, and it doesn't work with streaming though. It still ends it though. I was upset about that. But they just keep adding more and more stuff to the PlayStation feature set, and then what they just added to Gran Turismo. Oh my God, like that I can't wait.
And Jez, it's only been 2 years, man. Can you imagine? In a year or two, more features that they're going to add. And I'll be honest,
It's just Xbox is just getting. I don't know, man.
It's spooky, dude. It's spooky.
It's
It's
super
spooky.
spooky. It's super spooky, and I'm gonna be honest. Do you really want to own? I guess if this Blizzard Activision deal goes through, if PlayStation still has the definitive version of Call of Duty, if it runs better, and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think this shit's gonna help them, man. I don't know what they can do at this point.
Dude, it's like a defibrillator. I think this Activision deal now has turned into like a defibrillator stuff. Same thing with the Bethesda deal, right?
Yeah. Do they come? Do they come out with another console, Xbox Series XXL or something like that? I mean, I don't know how they remedy it.
I have no dude. Like, you know what else is crazy is that if you look, Brad Sams was saying this stuff where he was like, "Where's the Series X?" Like, it's not really stocked in stores anymore, and I just think that these stores are not reordering them.
They're not reordering them.
Yeah, and I
they sit
think
on the ship.
And I think the push has been for the Series S. Like I haven't seen Microsoft talking about the world's most powerful console ever since it launched. Have you seen that line at all in any of their only on their website, but they haven't come around with an ad going world's most powerful console, world's like nothing really marketing the power advantage of the Series X at all since this thing launched. Even when the PlayStation wasn't there. PlayStation 5 wasn't in stock.
Look, they backed away from that talking point.
They did. Yeah.
Within the first month, they backed away. I mean, they saw the Spider-Man Miles Morales. They saw some of the other games that PlayStation 5 had, and they said, "Oh shit, let's before we get sued, let's do a scrub job and erase all this stuff." But you know whatever's on the internet, it's there permanently. So
I know it's there. And here's something else that they missed the ball on. Now that we're 2 years in and people have their libraries, the size of the SSD and the mechanism of how you upgrade your memory inside of the Xbox. Right now, a 512 gigabyte card on the Xbox is $139, and a 2 terabyte on the PS5 expansion is $122. It is cheaper than that. And somebody tweeted out to Xbox and Jason Ronald, the guy with the long beard, we were told years ago there would be more expansion options, and since then we have told nothing. We have heard nothing. The proprietary drive remains very expensive option. The competition offers this, and it's like, look, this console it's the 2 terabyte cartridge is actually almost $375. It's $400 on sale for $375 for the 2 terabyte, and you get 2 terabyte here, $122 on with the heatsink for $10. So add $10, so $132 for that, as opposed to $375 on sale, $400. And what's crazy is we said this. We said having an open market SSD will drive it down. And I remember the same people telling me about all these free updates, all these big things. Same folks were saying, where's your SSD? Because remember, the SSD solution wasn't there on day one. It was 6 months in, just like Cerny said, we're waiting for the Gen 4s. But everybody's like, PlayStation didn't have VRR. They don't have SSD. Well, guess what? Sony waited on that stuff, and they did it better.
They got everything. They have everything that everybody was. See, the one thing I like is they removed all the talking points.
They did
that the Xbox fan base had against the PS5. They removed every single talking point, and now it's to the point where PS5 have such a huge advantage. There is no way in the world you can tell someone or give them a reason why they should go and buy an Xbox over a PS5.
Exactly.
There is literally, even if you tell them to go buy an Xbox Series S, well, it only has 512 gigs, and 120 gigs of that is reserved for the system. So you only basically have 300 gigs. But guess what? If you want to expand it, it's going to cost you freaking $300 to go ahead and expand it. If 512 isn't going to do anything.
I got something for you, J-Dub. Here's a tweet for you right here. And then they say that, well, the PlayStation VR 2 costs more than the console. Meanwhile, the 2 terabyte SSD to expand your Xbox Series S is more than the console.
Exactly. Hey, that's your PSVR right there.
Yeah, there's your PSVR for an extra memory. And on top of that, the size of the files on Xbox are out of proportion, huge. Where Sony actually has them cheaper because of the Kraken. They're smaller.
Kraken Caress.
The Kraken. It's on the PlayStation, but it's not on Sea of Thieves yet. But the thing is,
they laughed at Mark Cerny And
They
look
laughed
who's
at.
laughing now.
Who's
Look who's
laughing
laughing now.
Well, I'm going to give you something to laugh at. You go to Xbox frequently asked questions, and they go, "What are the size storage expansions for the expansion cards?" And they go, "It's the 512, the 1 terabyte, and 210." And then the next question is, "Why is the storage expansion card so expensive?" Well, I'm going to tell you why, J-Dub, per Xbox. This is from their frequently asked questions. And please don't roll over and die laughing. The Xbox Velocity architecture is a key innovation in our next generation consoles, delivering unprecedented speed and performance that enables transformative gaming experiences never possible on console. This level of consistent, sustained performance requires advanced components beyond the traditional hard drives or SSD found in a PC. By partnering with the industry leader in Seagate, we work together to deliver an expandable storage solution that delivers identical performance at the lowest cost possible.
Well, this don't make no sense. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Dude, that is a line of marketing bullshit. Shit. Yes. Industry leader in Seagate. Your paper velocity architecture.
Mark Cerny said he was going to leave it up to other manufacturers. And guess what? Because you have more competition, it drives the price down. This is why you can get a 2 terabyte drive in most cases, right? If you look on Amazon and in different places for less than $100. There is no way in the world that this drive should still cost $250 in 2023.
Nope.
Nope. Hey, listen.
Dude, they fell.
You know what's crazy, Jazz? What's crazy is how Microsoft sat there and watched Sony and their proprietary memory fail for all of these fucking generations, and they turn around and adopt the same proprietary bullshit. Like, it's just
they are 139 Kratos for J-Dub for 512, 1 terabyte sitting at 220. And a 2 terabyte at a whopping $400. And they're saying it's Xbox Velocity architecture. And it's only Seagate making this stuff. And this was from November 2020 it was released. And they have not dropped the price on this thing since it launched. You had a sale or something like that. But this is something where they also said, quote unquote, at launch, other competitors will also be doing it. And they lied about that. Other competitors that will also, nobody wants, this is what I mean. Like I think Jason Rollins said it. Let me see. Jason Rollins said other competitors SSD. Yeah, he said they'll have other people like Western Digital stuff. Like they have a monopoly right now.
Yep. It is what it is, man. Listen, Jazz, there's a bigger picture here, right? They're failing in the games department. They're failing in the sales department. They're failing with the memory expansion department. They're failing pretty much everything. I think this is the last generation of Xbox. I honestly do, man.
It's on its way down, dude.
Listen, they're 22 years in. If they hadn't got it right by now, it's just.
This Jason,
not gonna get
dude. I'm looking at Jason Rollins' thing. I'm looking at his. Let me see. Does he have anything with SSD at all? Because he said some. Yeah, and people are calling them out now.
Yeah,
because they're like, hey, yo, it's been years, and we don't have anybody here. These prices have not been, on the Xbox. Let me see. He said, "Oh, here. Oh my God, is this where he says it? Man, don't give me these easy receipts right here."
Jeez.
Oh man.
It's great to see that we're doing that because what you don't see in this is, of course, we have the X, we have the Series S, and then kind of next to it for Game Pass Ultimate.
Don't
folks,
give me the receipts like this, dude.
xCloud, you can do that as well, and you
all access program as well.
I mean, oh my God, what about that all access program? Where you can put your shit on layaway, or you spend a little bit of money. They have that too, and they still can't sell the console.
Get into the next generation. Example of was that it matched the
Jess, it's time to shut her down.
A little bit about
listen. We had a good run. Shut her down.
Series X.
Shut it down.
First. We want to make sure that get a lot of this news out. And to
Where
start
is the this you
Guys
talk about here?
available.
unplug it from your Xbox One console
Here it is.
card that we're launching with this holiday. The exact same storage expansion you use in the Xbox Series X.
Yeah, Major Nelson
can
capping
also
for
plug
it.
directly into Xbox Series S. And what was critically important to us with the design of the storage expansion was that it matched the internal performance exactly. So as a developer, you're guaranteed to get the exact same experience, whether you choose to run the game off of the internal storage or if you choose to run it off the storage expansion card. And if you have an existing USB 3.1 drive, you can unplug into your Series X or your Series S, and you're up and playing games directly off your external USB.
The performance gains, you're going to want to run it off of one of these things. And we'll have details. I believe we'll have details on all of these guys available very soon.
Memory.
But if you want to just use the inside storage, that's fine, or this storage, you can do that. But I love the fact that you guys work to make sure that they're on parity, that there's no difference in speed or performance, or there's no benefits. The only benefit you have is that if you have one of these, you can take it out and put it in one of your other consoles. But otherwise, everything's exactly the same.
Memory cards,
When
2023.
you look forward, we are in September. I had you on in June. I think I had you on in July. Got you here.
Man, selling those the Velocity Architecture is the reason why you're paying for those things. They're M.2s just locked up in an Xbox case. There you go. So So then just the one other mention here about the Activision Blizzard thing we're talking about. One of the things is that they're gonna have this big meeting this week. What is this? Wait, what is somebody just sent me? Man, people are just sending me these links. What is this thing? Atomic Heart, we apologize for inconvenience caused by the lack of Japanese subtitles in the Xbox version. The Xbox and the development team are currently working to investigate and resolve the issue. We apologize for the inconvenience. Please. They're missing subtitles. I'll tell you, just like they messed up with that Redfall thing, dude. Like, they're a mess. Like, their Redfall thing where they're like, no, there is a disc. But there wasn't a disc. But you can upgrade for free. Like, you can upgrade to the Bite Back edition. It's like, what the hell?
One customer.
How do you mess up on your frequently asked questions, dude? This is your game. Be clear on what it is. You sounded like there was no physical version here. No disc in the box. Oh, we've got to fix that. Dude, Kratos 99. He goes, wait, the guy with the long beard looks like Bigfoot. Yes, he does, dude. He was all talking when the thing launched. Now you can't find him. Now he's just like Bigfoot right now. He's a myth. You can't even find this dude anymore. People asking him what's going on with this SSD thing, and he's ghosted them all. He actually acted like Bigfoot. God damn. But anyway, there's this big meeting going on. Phil has stood outside like John Cusack, holding up a $69 billion offer while everybody was protesting out Activision for grab assing. And now they're going to have the meeting. The subpoena has been extended. Sony's drinking Mai Tais. They're all going to court. They're all going to try to come up with a deal to satisfy Sony, which is hilarious because Microsoft is the one who needs Activision, and they're banking on Sony's approval, which, dude, this is pretty comical right now because I was told that Microsoft's the boss and you can't mess with Microsoft money, and now they're the petty ones begging for this deal to go through. But yeah, these executives, and anything on this, I think we're going to wait for some more news. I know that, the subpoenas and shit like that, but they're still waiting on that Activision deal. But all the executives are apparently showing up to go talk about the deal. But, here's Bootleg Jez's opinion on it. I told you, Windows Phone Central rejects. Microsoft should have spent $69 billion on Mixer. There, I said it.
Yep.
That's what he said.
That's crazy.
There's Bootleg.
That is wild.
There's Bootleg for you. Saying some wild ass shit because he takes this personally, but he says he doesn't. But he don't play games. He just loves Blizzard in this whole thing. He don't even play Call of Duty. And what's hilarious is that I heard them on their show, and he's basically like, "Oh yeah, I'll try it if it's in Game Pass."
Yep.
I can't.
See, that's the mindset.
I can't.
And this is why Xbox is in the position that it's in.
You're on a video game podcast every goddamn week. If you don't give a shit about it, then why waste your time on it? Are you making a few bucks? Like, I just don't understand some of these people that are so invested into this thing, but don't even care about Call of Duty. And they're like, I don't even play it, but you know what? I'll try. If it's in Game Pass, it really, then you won't even buy it on sale. Like, you really don't care that much. But meanwhile, you're up Activision, Microsoft, Blizzard's ass about this deal, like it has to go through, like screw the FTC, Linda Khan, you're evil, but you don't care about the games that are there, and you care about Blizzard. Well, Blizzard wasn't doing anything before. You think the Microsoft's gonna do something with them?
Yeah.
Have they said that at all? Like, it's better for you, J-Dub, as a gamer, because when we get Blizzard, we're gonna bring back StarCraft. Did they say that? No, they didn't say anything like that.
Nope.
At all. So I just don't understand, like, this whole capping for this deal, making Microsoft and making Activision better. They're not going to make Activision better. Look what they did to Bethesda. They're laying off their people making games still.
Yep.
No, I know bootleggers. Because I just don't understand it. It grinds my gears so much when you got people trying to tell you like excited for something and they're just not getting it. Like, imagine if I'm like been talking about this PSVR too, just because it's a Sony product and not actually getting it and caring about it. Like, that would be the fakest like that would be a waste of everybody's time. And that would be fake. Like, how could you be excited for something that you have no interest in? Have a public forum. I don't understand it.
Well, it just tells you. I mean, majority of these guys are not like Jez and the rest of
They're
them.
Windows fans. They're not Xbox fans.
They're not gamers, right? They're not gamers. They love Phil. They love the executives. They love them being in their party.
They love the insiders.
They love access to the company and information, and that's it. And they'll do whatever they got to do. So this deal doesn't really affect them at all. They're just rooting for
just like
their favorite executives.
Yeah.
But for true gamers, right, people who actually spend money on games and has been spending money on games and it's their hobby of choice, this can profoundly affect them and affect gaming in the industry in general. And this is why the FTC and the CMA UK and the European Commission are actively vetting this and making sure everything is on the up and up. And kudos for them for doing it.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, like, even when they said, like, hey, Call of Duty could just be in your service, dude. And it's just like, oh, yeah, that's no, I don't want, because don't you understand that will change the game? Because we, unfortunately, are at the mercy of what publishers and developers want to give us. But we do have control with voting with our wallet and saying that's not what we want. And you're seeing that a lot with a lot of these free-to-play games, a lot of these service games, where people are just done with it. They're like, you know what? This game didn't grab me. I didn't want to pay anymore for it. I don't want to buy your expansion packs. You were lacking in the content. So therefore, I'm not going to play. And these games dry up real quick and they shut them down. And there goes out everything that you bought, season passes, all the stuff. And this is exactly the problem. The more you see like multiverses, what happens, and what other games, like what is that dodgeball game from EA? That one getting shut down, and you know, and seeing what they did with all those games where they were funding your money, even games like even stuff like Stadia, like that's not good for cloud, because people who invested in the service and trusted you with their money now don't get anything back. Either they get it refunded or all their content that they bought is just dried up. And guess what? The next person up, the next one that try to offers that service, the next one that try to give you that free-to-play game with a season pass, you're going to be much more skeptical. Fool me once, shame on you, shame on me, whatever the hell that whole thing is. But like, after a while, the next service game that pulls up, people are not going to be willing to throw money at their battle pass, because you know what? The last game I bought it on, they shut up and they shut it down in a year. And you know what? I got nothing to show for it. And that's why this service stuff, it's a double-edged sword, dude. Like, it's nice for accessibility and nice to try out a game, but they know you're trying it out. So they're going to make something for you trying it out. So therefore, it's going to change the game to function in the service rather than for the gamer. And I don't know, J-Dub, I don't know if you tweeted it out or that clown, that guy that comes out. What is it? That Descenders guy. Oh my God. He must have a Game Pass tattoo right on above his lower back, that son of a bitch. That what is his name? What the hell is his name? That clown. You know that Descenders guy? What the hell is his name? The developer for the Descenders. Where is he? Oh, this whole thing with the physical sales thing. Clowns. Where is it? And Mike Rose. This guy. Where's my three-ring circus? Here it is. Every time Game Pass is in the news, my Descender search fills up with mentions as people on both sides try to explain why Descenders is proof that their Game Pass claims are true. Every single time he goes, all I can say is we're aiming to get every single title we publish from now on into Game Pass. In doing so, we'll secure success for each title. Pause. Stop. Hold the presses. We're back. More foolery. We're back. Look at that. There's the sentence right there where I just said exactly the problem. Making a game for the service. He goes here. Every title that we're publishing from now, which I'll show you what goddamn jelly bean shit he's making, into Game Pass. In doing so, we'll secure success for each title. The dude is already saying they're successful because they're going into Game Pass, not even caring about if you buy it or not. So what kind of game is this son of a bitch making? A game for you? A game for you, J-Dub? You make a game for you?
Nope.
Is he making a game for you, Sam? For you, Kratos? For Ryan, for you? He's making a game for you, Don John? Wana? He sounds like he's making a game for you? Or he's making a game for Game Pass, and he's already saying it's successful.
Yep.
And it relieves immense pressure on devs. And making a game for the gamer? No. Making a game for the goddamn service.
Yep.
So all the I'm going to try it in Game Pass. They know your dumbass is going to click on it in Game Pass. So guess what they're going to give you? A Game Pass game.
Yep.
And that's what I don't want this shit to come, because God of War is not no Game Pass game. Horizon is no Game Pass game. Last of Us is no Game Pass game. They're expecting you to spend money, $70, and tell me why it's worth it. So the more you keep getting freeloaded shit in there, they're going to make the game for you. Why do you think Halo was that? They didn't have confidence to sell Halo at whatever it was. They didn't even do that. They had to fragment that trash and destroyed Halo in the process because they made a game for the service and not for the gamer. And they lost the gamer. And here you go. Here's a quote directly from a developer. We're going into Game Pass and we'll secure success and relieve pressure from devs. And please tell us why that's bad for us. I could give a flying fuck if it's bad for you. I don't care about you, dude, you clown. Now let's see what kind of games you're making, dude. Here it is. Let me hear if you knew of these hit games. We did December's Hypnospace Outlaw. Let's build a motherfucking zoo. You heard of that game? I didn't. Sprinter. And loads more of bullshit. That's what he made. Can't wait. That sounds like Game Pass trash. If you FTC, get on this motherfucker right now. There he is. Let's build a goddamn zoo. Let's build a zoo. He can't wait to put his trash in Game Pass, and he's successful. Let's build a goddamn zoo. I thought that was a friggin' Matt Damon movie. Let's build a zoo. What's it? A Matt Damon movie? Get the hell out of here. Yeah, sit there with your cheap ass shit. Keep your cheap ass shit, dude.
I mean, Jez, you remember when Matt Booty said that they weren't making AAA games, but they were making AA games, indie and AA games.
Exactly. Why?
Polish them up so they could look like they could be AAA, but I mean, he didn't lie. It is what it is.
No, exactly. And he says why? He says because of Game Pass, and that's why people are like, why you don't like Game Pass? I don't want this shit. See, this is what I don't want. I don't want. You know what? Devs not having pressure on them. Yeah, okay, fine, whatever. You're making a product, dude. let's talk about construction workers working at goddamn 1 o'clock in the morning, freezing their ass off. Like, yeah, there's shit jobs, okay? There's jobs that people get pressure and all that stuff. There's pressure in every job, okay? But the thing is like ensuring success by automatically going to Game Pass, they're already cashing out, dude. They're not making a game for you. They don't care if you like it or not because they got the bag already.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay, sorry.
Well,
I can't look at this clown anymore, this guy.
My whole thing is, what were they doing? What were these people doing before Game Pass?
They were pitching their games at goddamn press conferences or handing out flyers in front of E3 or something like that. Like, I don't know, dude. I have no clue where they like they needed this like I said, it's a safety net. It is this like, hey, he don't have to worry about his game and the pressures of the reviewers and the pressures of the reception. You don't care about that stuff. You don't care about public perception. You don't care about reviewers. You don't care about anything. Look at Hi-Fi Rush. You think they had to worry about the reviewers and stuff? They dumped that game out there and said, hey, go play it. You like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. Yeah, whatever. They didn't care. It didn't matter. And when you're taking out the end user as the important factor, where they say here in their quotes so many times that it's about the gamer is the main person. We're focusing on the player. You're not. Because you're focusing on the service. You don't care how we react to your game. Whether we click it or not, like, it doesn't matter. Whoever made it got the bill, and whatever else is extra. So tell me how it may you lose your power of the consumer with the subscription because you lose the power of voting with your wallet because they got your wallet already.
Yep.
So all you just okay with just like, you tell me what I should be playing this month. Like, to Game Pass owners, they told you're playing Atomic Heart, whether you like it or not. Because that's what they're telling you that you should be playing. Because you are a victim of the service. The service is dictating what you should be playing because it's something new in Game Pass. It's not what you want to play. Because guess what? The games that you want to play, like Hogwarts, like Callisto Protocol, you got to go buy those games. Wow. You actually got to go out and go buy them and spend more money on them. But the games that you're making, the games that are in Game Pass, you are a victim. You're basically they got to feed you whatever is coming.
Pretty much.
That's it. Now, yeah, you could go buy those games, but that kind of defeats the purpose of Game Pass. If you got to go out there and buy Call of Duty, buy Callisto Protocol, buy Hogwarts for $70 and keep buying those games and still cap for Game Pass is great. It has the games I want to play. No, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
It should be a secondary service, a supplementary service. That's what it should be. It shouldn't be this cap going to go this. And like I said before, if you want to talk about services and what service is more value, I'll direct you right to PS Plus for $100, $80 cheaper than an Xbox Game Pass if you want to talk about services. If you really want to go down that service pathway, I'll give you 20 goddamn points why PlayStation Plus is a better service than Xbox Game Pass. And don't tell me day one games. Day one meh games? Day one meh?
Yeah.
Day one games that you didn't give a shit to try out or not, rather than proven games that you may have missed out on? That's different. And nonetheless, $80 more for games that are meh. I guess I'll try it out because it's in Game Pass. That's all the quote is. Anyway, Sony bought Ballistic Moon while everybody's jerking around in the FTC and Phil Spencer got his ass in court. Sony's out here buying studios? I don't know. Did you see the Ballistic Moon stuff? That Sony might purchase them?
Yep. Well, from what I hear, they're already purchased.
They're already purchased? Yeah, they're on the list.
Yeah. Sony just won't say anything until after this CMA, and FTC shit. And I didn't want to believe it, Jez, that Sony was waiting on the event and waiting to talk about a bunch of these games like Spider-Man and the rest of their first party IP.
You're my number one
customer. It's looking more and more. It's looking more and more to be the case.
Yep, they're quiet, point, right?
They really have no. They hadn't said anything. They really have no. They really have no reason.
They're really being hush hush.
having some teed up. So, well, I won't say we'll see tomorrow, but apparently Sony, Microsoft, this whole FTC stuff, something's supposed to happen tomorrow. So we'll
21st, right? Is 21st? Yeah.
Tomorrow,
Yeah, that's when they're all meeting. That's when they're all meeting.
And you know what? Tomorrow's my birthday, so hopefully,
happy birthday, dude!
Yeah, hopefully I have a great birthday, and they decline this Blizzard Activision deal.
Oh, you can have a big birthday because you got PSVR on the way, dude.
I got a PSVR on the way, man.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah, happy birthday! I got a birthday song. Here we go. I got a birthday for you. Here we go.
Happy birthday, Phil Ness.
The Phil Ness birthday.
Where are the free games? You are a filthy common Xbox. Happy birthday, Phil Ness.
There you go, J-Dub. There's a
hilarious.
Phil Ness birthday for you. Goddamn.
I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate
There
That's
you
hilarious.
You know what happens on a Phil Ness
man.
birthday? He stands in front of the room. He tells you how excited he is to give the cake, to deliver the cake that there's no cake. He's excited about handing out, the gift bags, but there are no gift bags. It's all promises. Like he stands up at your birthday party and tells you all the things he would have done, and you're supposed to love him for that. But yeah, happy birthday, man. Let me get these super chats, and then we'll get into I want to see some Church Keys. What's up? Assault panel right here. Church Keys, what's up with the two? He goes, grind those X beans, Jez. I want some coffee. You want that booty coffee? Oh man, he's serving. He failed 343, man. Booty's leaving the coffee grinds in the coffee. He got fired. Warawana with the two. Paying for entrees or mains you don't want is Game Pass. Exactly. You're paying for stuff that you don't want. It's like you don't want, and there might be a gem here or there. Like I'm saying, it's not everything is bad, but like, to wait and crush your fingers for that gem, is it worth it? It's a gamble. You're paying $15-something a month because you're seeing these games in Game Pass. Hi-Fi Rush is not in the top 50 anymore. Pentiment, the Talking Gun, those games are not having legs. So you got to think, well, why you keep paying for Game Pass if the games that are in there are not showing up month after month having legs, right? They're dropping off, which means people are jumping on, checking it out, and dropping off. Or they're not checking it out at all. I don't know. But the thing is like you would think these games, you have access to them. You're paying a recurring fee. Why are they not on these top 50 played lists more often? They should be, on there. And they're dropping off faster than anything. GoldenEye was another one in Game Pass. Thrifty PS Gamer Reviews. The 5, he goes, I got Gotham because of the trial and was sale on PSN. I think the trial system is great. PS Plus trials have sold me 2 games, WWE 2K23 and now Gotham Knights. Thrifty, I can't agree more. I think the trial process is a great way of doing the same thing that Game Pass was trying to do. And it's a way of giving you, and because of it's a trial, you're getting to play more current games and more of those games that would not show up day one in Game Pass. So you have an option now because the developer is not having to front the bag and have to negotiate to put this in a service day one. Instead, they're giving you the full game. You get a couple of hours of it. Try it out. Like I just played Wild Arms. What was that thing? That friggin' Wild Hearts, with the one with the Monster Hunter type game. I have a 10-hour trial in that thing. And yeah, I'm not feeling it. And there you go. Like now, but the trial has been great. I think the trials are great. And they have the God of War trial that just went in there. But the trial doesn't, and this is the last point on this thing. I'm going to say the trial doesn't discourage you from buying games. It actually entices you to try and buy. And also I'm noticing a lot more demos as well of games on, this generation than last generation. But that's the main point is like, the Game Pass teaches you not to buy, because the worst feeling in the world is to buy a game and then it shows up in Game Pass. Or like we saw with Outriders, pre-order a game and then it says it's in Game Pass and then you cancel your pre-order. Like that's bad for the developers and the other one's bad for you. Like the worst thing is buying a game and it showing up in Game Pass. And with their announcements, they are telling you, like, hey, it's in Game Pass. I don't have to buy the game. And you see that mentality over the internet where a lot of developers come out and say, we're not in Game Pass. Like, they make it a point because they know that will cannibalize their sales. People will not pre-order or buy their game because they're expecting it in Game Pass. And that is not an anti-consumer, but that is going reverse, dude. And that is the thing. Like, the trials would be more of a way to approach Game Pass with, hey, try the game and then buy it with a discount because you're a member. That is the way to go. That does not diminish the quality of the game because they are trying to make a game to sell to you.
Yep.
And that's a great aspect. That's why I think the trials would be more what Phil was trying to say in the whole with like, hey, people in the service buy more games. Yeah, if you could try them out and buy them, that'd be great. But if you're gonna have the game and it's in the service, you're not gonna just say, well, guess what? I have the game in my service and I'm gonna buy it too. Support the devs. No. I just wanted to see what games Ballistic Moon made. Do you know?
Yep.
I'm just looking here. Well, the last thing I'll do, I don't want to keep everybody too late here. And it's the last topic is the big one, the PSVR hype that's coming. So J-Dub knows he's getting his for his birthday. Oh, shout out to Tex-Mex Morty, dude. Wait, J-Dub, you didn't see this thing. Tex-Mex Morty sent me the official drink of the Gaming Grindhouse. Put that cookie down now. It is Booster's beer. Oh man, I got the thing. Where is it? Where's my line here?
Put that cookie down now.
Dude, only in Texas. J-Dub, down your way. You gotta tell me how it tastes.
Sir. Yes, sir.
It's made by Martin Brewer. He says in Fort Worth or something like that. Martin Brewery or Martin House.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that.
There you go. Put that cookie down. It is.
Put that cookie down.
It's an Imperial
now.
Sugar Cookie Ale.
Yeah.
There it is. The Booster can of beer. Oh my god.
Yep.
There it is. Oh, I'm not even getting to Paris's clownery. I had enough of clowns for this week. If that guy getting tangled in the J-Dub, you missed it. I had that guy freaking entangled. Oh, I did play that new song for J-Dub. Here, J-Dub. Hear this new song with the did you hear about them with the USB cable? And then it's weighted on their shoulder.
Oh my god.
Oh my. Oh wait, J-Dub. I'm gonna have to go to the tapes. So, if you want a good laugh, I suggest that you go watch CNET's review of the of the PSVR, and we're gonna replay it here. The PSVR for some of the grinders that are here that missed the show from yesterday. We had a blast looking at this clown.
All here.
This guy here. First off, he factors in the price of the PSVR. This is a little recap from yesterday. He factors in the PSVR cost, and he goes, the PSVR cost, you got to buy a console and then the unit, and that is $1,000 at least. Like he talks right here.
Yeah.
Right here. Wait, he goes.
Price on this headset.
Did he factor in the cost of a gaming PC?
Oh wait,
and a $1,600.
Oh no, at the end
even though it includes the controllers, you're also going to need a PlayStation 5.
And just why do they act like there's
bundle?
not 32 million
That's a lot
plus
of money to spend on VR.
PlayStations out in the wild? Why does everyone have to buy something from scratch?
I know, right? Because at the end he goes, well, there are cheaper headsets and you could just plug them into a PC, and it's like, and what's the cost of that PC, dude?
PC? Exactly.
Yep.
You're buying the games and everything.
Oh, and you got to buy games. He said it costs more money. You got to buy games.
Yeah,
dude, this guy.
To spend. I think if you already have a PlayStation,
these are not, these. That's all I told you, Jess. These are non-gamers.
These are not gamers.
Spending what's going
these are non-gamers.
At least $600.
Yeah, he's like, you buy a cheaper headset, you plug it in, and then his clownery right here, where he's like the cable. So I just wanted to prelude into the song. Here, where is he? He has a whole section on the PSVR 2 fighting the cable. Here he is.
This needs that tether. This is about a 15-foot cable, which is pretty good for most rooms, but I did feel this cable wearing down on my shoulder, and
The cable was wearing down on his shoulder. The chains of Olympus. That's what he said. And then he got tangled. Look, he gets tangled.
Make sure I didn't get tangled in it.
Oh no! Well, I got a song for you, Mr. CNET.
Watch out for that USB cable with PSVR. Do it weighs as much as the chains of Olympus, and you are going to be tangled.
Oh my god.
Trust me, they sent this to me for free, and I only play on Compass.
There he is.
Dude, this guy is trying to get his feet tangled up in a cable. Listen, these clowns, man, these clowns.
He's trying to get on the.
For one, Jez, he plugs the cable to his PS5 and he walks all the way to the back of the room. Like, come on, what are you doing, man? Like, Jesus. You know what?
Look how he walks the whole thing and then he gets tangled in it.
That's why he needs to sit his ass in a fucking chair because he can't clearly he can't tie his fucking shoes, right? So he needs to sit in the chair and just use the fucking chair mode while he's fucking sitting there with his COVID mask on and COVID's been over for 2 years. Fucking moron. And then he has this mask over his mouth. And he has this mask over his mouth and not his nose. The fucking moron.
Dude, this guy's all plugged up. He's like a stuffed goddamn turkey. They're gonna wrap him up like the freaking brajolles. He's a fucking brajol. He's all stuffed up. He got the mask. He got the mask on the head. He got his ears plugged in. They're gonna tie him up in that USB cable and throw him in the fucking oven. He's a fucking brajol. Get this brajol off of my goddamn screen. This fucking brajol. Holy shit. I'm gonna wrap him up with a goddamn brajol. I'll put him in there with the sauce. This is clown. The chains of Olympus. There it is. It's weighted on my shoulder. Oh. The fucking clown. And this is.
Look, this is.
He's like, tied around my leg right now. Take some B-roll. Goddamn brajol. Get the hell out of here. This is what they're doing, Jada. I was flipping out yesterday.
This is such an embarrassment, man.
This guy. They said it was like one of those. Oh man, I did the video yesterday. It was like those infomercials where the people like doing.
This
Look at
clown.
this. He got tangled in the. Look at this. Like who that's tangled him?
And this guy works for CNET, right?
CNET.
So clearly, none of these guys watched it. They never read them. They didn't read the instructions. They didn't watch any of the breakdowns, any of the setups or anything. Yeah. If I was a 4-year-old kid, I'd get tangled up into that shit too, But look at him. Fucking. And what game are you playing where you have to turn fucking 360 around 8 times to get tangled up? Like, come on, what are we doing here?
No, he told the cameraman, tied around my feet.
Yeah.
He's like tied around my feet. Because look how it is that's tied around his feet. Get the hell out of here, man. I can't wait. Yeah. I'm going to do my unboxing. I'm going to be all tangled in the wire. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'll do an unboxing. I'm just going to wrap that cable around me like 50 times. And then I'm just going to say, oh, God. What are you doing, Sony?
Oh, yo, I can't wait for the friggin' PSVR 2 fails. Like when other people get this, these people like, I have all consoles and they're going to get, I got a VR 2. Oh, the wires, I'm all tangled and, it needs to be wireless. It's like, you clowns with the wireless. I did a whole freaking video yesterday. Yep. When it's wireless, it is a mobile VR system. It's not giving you the same
chip.
VR.
You're not getting the fidelity. No. You're not getting the fidelity. You're not getting the quality. It's literally like, I call it like it's child's play compared to real VR. And any common sense person would know that. But yeah, like someone in chat said, he's a man child. That's what he is.
He's a man child. Yeah, I almost fell out of my chair when they asked him at the end. He goes,
imagine if this guy has kids and his kids is watching him doing this and they're looking like, oh shit, Dad's embarrassing us again.
Goddamn, Dad the brajol. Goddamn, he's all wrapped up. He's wearing a mask. When he goes when he's at CNET, and oh my God, this last part here when he says this thing, would I buy it?
You're thinking about spending what's going to be at least $600 or more if you're buying the games and everything else. I think this is the most
No, he wouldn't buy
cinematic
it. He almost
vivid
died.
VR gaming experience that's out
Moron.
there. That's a really high price bar. I mean, even in PC VR gaming, you could find more affordable headsets and be able to connect them to a PC. The Quest 2 is $400. I'm not even going to include the Quest Pro because that's not really meant for everyday use. But this price is high, although the upcoming landscape of VR headsets are also going to have high prices. I buy this. Interesting question. I think it's a lot of money to spend. I think if you already have
I want to fall on my chair when he's like talking about just buy a cheaper headset and plug it into your PC.
customer.
Meanwhile, the motherfucker he's adding tax and PlayStation, the digital console. He's adding the controllers. He's like, this is over $1,000. Meanwhile, he's like, just buy a cheaper headset and plug it into a PC. Like, what the? Twisted Sink says he looks like he's on life support.
That dude's a freaking clown, man.
And I'll be honest, this is why real gamers don't fucking go to CNET. This is why they don't go to some of the other. These people are just out of touch, right? The CNET is like for the old parents, right? It's like your granddad or some people that are really not tech people and they really have no sense of what they're doing anyway.
It's like Consumer Reports reviews where they got products like 10 years old.
Exactly.
But you know what's funny?
The people who still read newspapers. You know what I'm saying? That's
you know what's funny though? You know what's funny, J-Dub? If you look at some of the best headsets, the top headsets are wired.
Yes,
they're
absolutely.
still wired.
Well, it has to be wired because the amount of throughput that's needed for the 4K, for the HDR,
I don't
for all the
understand
other
like what this guy was doing in this video, wrapping himself up like a freaking burrito and freaking acting like he didn't know what was going on. This dude was he was just being an idiot, just to like, hey, look at me, you know. And I'm just like, look, man, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you don't like it, to say you don't like it. But come on, man, you wrapping yourself up acting like it's so complicated. That thing is not that complicated.
Well,
it is really not that complicated.
A bigger thing that I found out is it's not just guys like him, but guys that you kind of assume would be a little bit more in the know, like what's his name? Something Blessing Jr.
Oh, yeah,
that guy not even knowing.
Wow.
I can't find my my VR controllers when the headset I was on. It's like, dude, did you not know
don't you know there's a whole button you can actually look? This
It
like
actually
this guy
shows you the friggin'
They created a fucking button so you wouldn't have that issue, and you still, Jesus, man.
I think he took that down. But what's
He deleted it
crazy
because
is
he got he got
what's crazy is
harassed so
these are
bad.
some of the same guys who are
And Paris
buying the
was on there too.
PlayStation.
Yep.
Yeah, these are some of the
It's
same
the
guys,
flight
like I
sim.
told Jazz the other day, that are buying the PlayStation dual edge controller and putting the paddles on wrong. And they're like, I'm like, you're gonna break your controller. Dreamcast guy did it. IGN did it. I don't trust none of these guys. They don't play games. They're influencers, and they act like they're real gamers. They're not. They don't play. They're influencers. They're influencers.
That guy didn't know about the button, dude, the pass-through button. Like, he
I
walked
don't
around, he
understand
put
how you
on his
don't know about that.
headset.
That was the biggest feature.
Dude, it's on the dedicated button. And then it shows the left and right controls specifically to put your hands inside the unit for the things.
You know what's funny? Sony has a whole video on their on the YouTube that you can watch, and they break the whole thing down and show you every single thing. And I'm like, did you guys not even? You're supposed to be this big brand. Did you guys not even watch this before you decided to do
They
it yourself?
dumped it out.
No,
They turned the thing upside down.
It's because they don't care. They're doing it for clicks and views.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
They turned the thing upside down. It fell all out of the box and smashed on the ground.
Look, and then they get mad when Sony don't send them something. Then they want to fucking make a video crying about how Sony did. It's because you guys are fucking morons. You have real gamers out here looking for a review of a product, looking for a real review to kind of make up their minds whether they're going to purchase or not. And then you get some shit like that. It's just, it's embarrassing.
Yo, Tequila Knights with the 77 with the 10. He goes, LOL, the clownery force is strong. Yes, that guy was a goddamn clown on that one. And then they unboxed it. And then the other guy, this Blessing Jr., I put on my headset. Then I was feeling around. I couldn't find my controller. I said he was like a goddamn blind man in an orgy. Yeah. He couldn't feel himself way around the goddamn room. He couldn't put on the controllers.
my thing is, have you ever played any VR prior? Is this your first time playing the VR? Because if you ever played any VR on PC, it's the exact same thing. Most of those don't have a pass-through button. So
They don't have a pass-through
what?
button. No, they don't.
How did you find? How did you find those? You lift the. It's just we don't even need to entertain these guys. These are the guys. I'm glad they're doing this because these show you these are guys you shouldn't be subscribed to. These are the guys that you shouldn't take with a grain of salt. Just look past them. Whether they're reviewing something, whether it's their channel, look past it. Like skip these guys. These guys are not the guys to give you the information that you need.
Nope. And just like the ones that saying about IGN, that clown was saying at the end about the game lineup is very limiting. Dude, here's the PSVR 1 game list. Look at all these games.
Over 40 some games. Yeah.
There we go. And these are games that have come out. You got Moss, which is an incredible game. Tetris Effect, dude, and you got
No Man's Sky.
The kayak, dude. I'm getting a kayak game. No Man's Sky. And Jada, I was saying this yesterday. One of the things too is like everybody when technology comes out, they're always like, "What's the killer app? What's the big app?" And Sony hit that too. They got not only is Gran Turismo, but they got Horizon, and like they have software to demonstrate the hardware.
Yep.
These are all the games.
They got so much, man.
And then Gran Turismo had that crazy update.
Gran Turismo, Horizon, Tentacular, Switchback. Resident Evil Village, Kayak. I mean, it's just it's too much. You got for the PC gamers to remember. Or you got Star Wars. You got Pavlov. That's a big game that's on PC for VR. It's just so many games on top of more that's coming. I don't know, man.
Dude,
but you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, you know what the thing, and the thing is that the product speaks for itself. It goes back to the Jim Ryan line of like, enough of me, let the games do the talking. And I think that's the thing that you see. Same thing with all these stupid boycotts and all this other stuff. Like the games do the talking. If they're good games, people want to play them.
They're gonna sell.
Exactly. Right. If they're great games, people want to play them. This thing, and again, everybody's like, it's too expensive. Listen, when this thing comes out, it is going to be out there. And I was saying this yesterday. I want to get your guys' opinion on it. This is kind of a February kind of soft launch, like I would think. Like this is not a holiday season. The last VR was launched in November, along with the Pro. This is launched in February. They're ramping up, and I'm telling you, they're probably they're gonna have probably some announcements in the summertime, and they're gonna have maybe some other games lined up, and they'll have this thing, the PlayStation in stock, the VR ready with demos ready to go for Black Friday and all that other stuff. Who knows? Maybe they give a 50% bundle discount. You buy both of them. A $50 discount or something like that. You buy both of them together. But the thing is like they are the fact that if I was telling, I think I was saying this to Frogs or someone. I was saying that if they would have launched these games in November, you probably would have said, okay, well, launch in November. These are the games we're probably going to get for a long time. But the fact that they're launching these games within this month and next month and in a few months. The thing is like they really they could probably have some stuff later on in the year.
Yeah,
like it's like almost like and getting this out there, and then how VR is that you're not going to sell people with a 2D screen on VR. People got to experience it.
Yeah, and that's all VR. That's all VR.
That's how I.
But I remember I remember the Oculus Quest 2. Everyone was down in on VR or whatever, and then that thing ended up coming out, at I think originally like at $299 before the price went back up, whatever. For that holiday season, everybody and their mom bought one, and then
and Spider-Man 2 is right,
yeah. So yes, I didn't even think about that. Spider-Man 2 coming, right? What if they do kind of like Resident Evil? You can play full VR, full Spider-Man 2 is fully playable in VR.
Yeah, and know what else too? Like I think there might be some games later this year that will probably have a VR function to them. That's another thing too. You might have because they started doing that with the VR 1. Like some games that were coming out, you'll have like a Spider-Man with a VR mode, or you'll have like even some third-party games like Resident Evil 4 with the VR mode. You know what I mean, and have these kind of features or VR functions or the VR version of them. So that's why I'm saying like I remember in Call of Duty did like or Battlefield Rogue Squadron did like a VR mode and stuff like that. So I think there's potential to have VR features added to games that are coming later this year as well. And that's what's so nice getting this in February, that they're going to have a whole year now to prepare for the holiday where people usually buy and spend the most, and having this on store shelves in stock, ready to go with demos. That's how you're going to sell it. And also, too, the initial buyers, like people like, this has to be $300 and mass market day one. No, this is what it is. And when people experience it and go, wow, this is incredible, I'll find a way to get one. I'll get one, or maybe I'll hold off. But that's your decision. But the fact is, this technology exists. It's awesome, but it has to be experienced. And I can't wait to try to do it, to show people, because that's the next best thing. After you have those incredible experiences, the next thing you want to do is grab your spouse, your kids, get in here. You got to try this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The neighbors coming over. You have St. Patty's Day party. You got summer bringing it over. Like I did that with my Vive. I packaged up that whole goddamn thing and brought it to a party. Man, it was lit. We were having a blast of doing that. And I had to hook up sensors and stuff in the room. Like that was crazy. This thing, you plug this in with that huge Chains of Olympus right in the front. All that weight on your shoulders. And you got to use that one cable hanging from your neck. But that's it. And there's no cameras. And the thing is a lot of, and I think too, I heard a lot of people had the first PlayStation VR. And I think once because I don't know, J-Dub and Frogs, I don't know if you did like the Vive or you had the Meta, like where you had that kind of room scaling and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did. I've had every single one, single VR unit.
So you know the difference between like that room scaling type thing and what VR1 was. PSVR was very limited. It was a vision cone. You could stand or sit and turn 180. Yeah. You couldn't do 360s and get tangled like the Bergeol. You couldn't do that. But because you'll occlude your hands, but basically you were limited, and you had to, like, even distance wise, you had to be a certain distance so the camera will get your full body or at least your torso and your head. And and this, you just plug it in, you scan your room, and you're in. And now you could walk around, bend down. And the other cool thing was what the other guy was showing is that because of not having a camera, he was playing the Star Wars game. Now you don't have to face the screen. You could face away from the screen. You don't have to be facing forward all the time because the camera has to see the lights.
Yeah.
You could be doing full motions away from your TV, looking to the left, looking to the right. Like you have a full area to explore. And one of the things, and here's a tip for everybody: if that cable is a problem, you could always you could put a little hook in the ceiling if you can. Like, I have a drop ceiling, so I can put a little hook. And I've seen people do this. You just hook up top, so now the wire goes up and over to your console. Now I don't know if you have a regular ceiling, you can drill in the ceiling, but you could always, if you want to hook it above you, now you could have free motion and stuff to you don't have that wire there. But again,
well, a lot of people listen. The cable is there for a reason, right?
Yes.
We know
it has to be there.
You need the throughput because the bandwidth that's required to run all the data and everything. You want the high end experience. That's the only way you're gonna get it. Now, here's the thing: if you're playing the Vive, the Oculus Quest and stuff like that, it's wireless. It's a mobile chip. It's extremely limited in what it can do. Yeah, it's wireless, but I think majority of the people will take the wire because that does give you a sense of, hey, I know my room. I don't want to hurt myself. So this is my limitation. When I feel that wire tug, I know I'm going too far out of my range. But now you got sensors and stuff that kind of, helps that problem. But I would rather have that wire than me not have it and end up breaking my hand, punching something or doing some crazy stuff.
But you said the wire is the reason why you're getting that high fidelity experience because of the wire, and the headset is light because of the reason why you have a wired solution. Because I remember Phil said, like, one of his Phil Nesses was that, I want a wireless solution to VR, but you're not going to get the same fidelity. And I showed a side by side with the Star Wars game. The hands were shaking like crazy, like spastic, and the PlayStation was smooth as can be. And you're looking at those two things, and you've seen there are two different levels of VR. And what I don't like this time around was that people are using the Meta Quest as like a competitor of the PlayStation VR, and they're not. And what's
Yeah.
interesting is when the other time was around, the PlayStation VR was the cheaper way of getting people into like high fidelity VR. This is high fidelity VR on a console. This is what Phil promised for the Series X. And now you're getting high fidelity VR because obviously the PSVR 1 wasn't high fidelity VR. That wasn't room scale. It wasn't like a full, like it wasn't.
And to be fair, it was the best you can get for its time.
Exactly.
Right? For
Yeah.
its time. It was the first time for the most of us, for a lot of people that you ever played VR.
Exactly.
Right? Because the cost of, you got to think about it. The cost of entry for VR on PC is astronomical.
Yeah, it's
For
like
one, you have to
minimum
have a,
$800 just for the headset.
just for
And
the
that's
headset.
you got to hook
And
up
that doesn't
sensors.
include, and that include the powerful PC that you have to be able to run that.
Yep.
So I mean, versus everybody had a $299, $399 PS4. So it did what it was supposed to do, and I'm glad that they're expanding on that, and now they have the highest level fidelity VR that money can buy right now at such a low price. So it's a bargain deal.
Exactly.
If you have a PS5, you have no worries. If you don't have a PS5, then guess what? If you want to get into high-end VR, this is still the cheapest solution for you.
It is.
So either way, it is what it is.
Yep. And I know mine keeps saying, and I have the side by side of like how they're different VRs here. And you can see the horrible lighting and stuff of the Quest 2. Like they're different, like the jittering and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, and that's why I'm, this thing, I can't wait to, and also too, the eye tracking, the FOVA rendering. Oh, before I wanted to show that because people want to know what FOVA rendering is before I have this thing running.
It's
I have that here.
Yeah, it's where basically wherever your eye is looking at, wherever it's paying attention to, that's where it's super crisp, it's super clear, and that's where all the processing power can focus. Because who cares about spending all that power processing high-end graphics when you're not paying attention to it? So it basically wherever you're looking, it'll forever remain in like clear focus, but everything else behind it will kind of be blurred out. But you won't kind of pay attention to it anyway. So that helps free up a lot of the processing power of the PS5, where it doesn't have to process pretty much everything in focus
and keep the frame rate and keep the frame rate high too. Like that's the other thing. Keep the frame rate high.
Exactly, and keep the 120 frames and 90 frames and stuff like that.
Yeah. And what's also cool about that is that usually in VR, if you pick up an object and look at it, that object now is going to have the highest fidelity. Like that's what the FOVA rendering is going to do. Like see this drum here. If you pick up the drum and look at it, it's going to have all the detail and stuff. And that's when you have it and you're looking at it and you're holding it and looking at it. That's where you want all the resolution, all the power to go is to where you're looking, so that you get the clearest view and the detail of this stuff. And that's that is really an incredible utilization of eye tracking, because eye tracking is there, like with the blinking stuff, it could be game aspect. And that was one of the things too that I think we kind of miss out on is that, and I felt like too, like somebody wrote, who's this, Advocate 1818 was saying, I'm glad Sony took the gamble with PSVR 1. And that was something that I said, Microsoft missed the boat, because if they ever wanted to join VR, they're going to be, let us compete again. You know what I mean? They're behind the curve. Developers now are excited. VR market is excited for PlayStation, because again, that VR market was either the budget Quest 2 or it was this high-end PC VR. But now they have a consumer level one in a console that's selling of 35 million units. And now they're going to have a VR unit there that's $550 that people could go grab as an extra accessory, maybe a year from now. And plus, there's a whole library of PlayStation VR games. That's the other thing, Advocate, is that because they got those other games in there, they could use those while they're making new experiences. And it's incredible, like the fact that they took that risk and they're able to continue with that and make the VR system that this is. And I feel like this is what Sony wanted to do all the time. Like they had PSVR 2 in mind with the one, because that one was using old tech. Like that was not off. That was like, hey, we got something, let's scrap something together in a garage and use this kind of these old move controls that didn't have analog sticks and didn't have D-pads, didn't have anything. It functioned well, like it did its job. But the other thing too is I felt Sony was much more focused on games, the gaming aspect of VR. And when you look at Meta and you look at some of these other ones, it's more about, oh, you could shop at Walmart or Amazon in VR. Oh, you could grab ass in VR and VR chat. It's a social platform to make friends and hit on girls and guys. And it's just like, where the games, dude?
Just look what Meta did. They tried to turn VR into VR basically into goddamn work.
Exactly. Like, oh, I'm gonna strap this thing on and do some Excel and PowerPoint. So what?
Exactly. Like, who the hell wants to fucking do work with this? I mean, but yeah.
Or do Teams chat and stuff. Like, let me create an avatar myself to talk to myself in VR to another person in VR. Dude,
the biggest thing they say is, who the hell is going to spend $1,600 to do some fucking work?
Yeah. Who's going to say, like, oh, I want to look at my wall and have an Excel chart on my wall in VR? Like, and that's the problem. Like, a lot of them they're trying to use it for the consumer or business aspect of it. Same thing with HoloLens. HoloLens was never, they tried to pawn it off as a Minecraft game, which they never even, that whole thing's done. But like HoloLens was never billed as a gaming machine, as a game device. It had this little credit card 3D overlay. Dude, it looked like something out of like an old ass VR. I tried the HoloLens at one of the consumer shows. Dude, that was not fun at all. I played some car game. It looked like something was pulled from the Virtual Boy in that thing. It was only the size of a credit card that had the overlay. It wasn't the full screen.
The display wasn't a full because it
was a credit card view in front of you. So you just have like a hologram like with,
and the resolution was low.
Yes.
It was low resolution.
Yeah. And the problem is like when I had the Vive, when I tried PlayStation and I saw the library that they had of VR, I was like, wow, these are a lot of games. Like, it's games in VR. It's not a lot of like, hey, try this tech demo of like cooking or picking up stuff on a virtual desk. No, it was actually a game, like a flying game and a shooting game and a punching game. And I was like, yo, these are games. And when you look at what Sony got, Sony's not trying to make this PSVR 2 some sort of like way of like, watch movies in VR, or hey, here's a way of for you to engage in something in VR. No, it's like, no, it's for you to have fun in games, dude. Here's a game.
Their focus, and that's one thing I love about them this generation. Their focus is strictly on
games,
on the games.
It's games and entertainment. That's what it is. Entertaining with games, and they're spinning off the movies. Yeah, here's a guy who couldn't do the VR thing. Blessing. He's a cursing. He's a curse. He's a clown. Clowning. This thing. Yeah, and I'm telling you, these VRs, this thing, best VR, and I said this before, this whole VR kind of, they don't want to give the full credit because I think they are in shock of how well Sony has been doing, like you're saying, Jada, about this whole VR. Like, they're just doing so well. So I'm like, Switchback looked incredible. I'm like, I'm just going to when I have this thing, I'm just can't wait to just try Horizon because I'm getting the Horizon bundle with it. And mine's still set for Wednesday, so I'm off. I'm gonna probably, man, it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to try this thing out. It's crazy. I put my old PSVR 1 on my head just to kind of like, just get a taste again. And I'm like, that thing is so comfortable. It's crazy how comfortable that thing is. It is like wearing a visor on your head.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Majority of the real PC review channels are saying that they can't believe how cheap this system is for what you get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you gotta remember the controllers are like with that too. Like, it's not like just a headset for 500 and the controllers are 100,
And here's the thing. It's not just regular controls. It has haptic feedback in the headset,
the change
in the controls. I mean, just that whole immersion. The whole immersion of it is, I mean, just can't be it can't be had yet. And I know some PC guys out there, PC's gonna get it, and it's who cares? Look at the cost, look at the entry.
Did you see like the person that ported over the PSVR 1 said that like they don't think this PSVR 2 is gonna be ported over like as quickly as that one? Like, anyway, that's a hack job anyway. That's what the PC dudes anyway. It's not official support for the PC. And
Well,
trust me,
Mhm.
you know, Jada, what I'm about to say. You know that if this thing was compatible with PC, the love fest would be everywhere. All of a sudden, that
It'd
dude
fly through the roof.
Dude, that cable on that friggin' Brazil's the shoulders would have been like, the cable is the lightest thing ever. I didn't even know
It's
it was
feather light.
there.
Exactly. It was invisible.
All of a sudden, he'll be doing skipping over. He'll be doing flips and backflips over that cable. Won't get tangled. That goddamn Brazil. He'd be like this. He'd be like, oh, I didn't even know the cable was there. If this thing was compatible with PC, that CNET
Well,
clown.
Just and you got the PC guys out there, right, on Twitter and YouTube making videos and stuff. And their biggest
They're
argument
jealous,
is that
dude.
it's not on. Yeah, they're jealous. It's not
Yeah.
on PC. But my thing is, wait, you have 50 different. You have 50 different VR compatible headsets out on the market. And you've bought pretty much none of them. So what does it matter if the PSVR 2 comes to, it's like these guys, they just want PC to have it. They're not going to buy it. They don't care about it. It's just like the games.
Exactly.
Oh, we want the Sony games to come to PC. Yeah, but you look at Returnal and like only a handful of people have bought the game. It's like, stop port begging when you're not going to support it anyway.
Nah, they gotta run them. They gotta run their graphics test on it, and then they go, look at this ray tracing, and then they're done with it.
They benchmark, and then they just want to have the highest. They just want to basically Digital Foundry say,
Know what they're playing, J-Dub? They're playing the graphics card because that's what they spent the money on. So what they do is everything that comes out is just a proof of purchase for their graphics card or their rig. That's what it is. I've done PC gaming. I have PC. That is the thing that you do when you get a new rig or a laptop gaming computer, gaming graphics card. The thing you want to do is go show me that this was worth the $1,000 that I spent. You need justification for your rig, for the extra CPU that you purchased, the extra graphics card, the extra RAM that you put in. You want to push that, and you use the games as tools to benchmark. And once you're benchmarked, then you sit back and you're satisfied, like, yes, that is worth
until the next game comes out.
Until the next game comes out. That is the way that works. Maybe they play and then they go back and play Vampire Survivor, which runs at 1 billion frames a second.
Absolutely.
But they use these big games.
Or they go back to their Dota. They go back to their Dota or World of Warcraft, and then it's right back to square one.
Returnal comes out. It's like, let me benchmark it. I could prove that I could run it for 120 frames at ray tracing, bleeding ass graphics, and then they turn it off and right back to Vampire Survivors, and or go back to friggin' like a card game or some goddamn solitaire, some bullshit that they're playing on their rigs.
I'm gonna tell you something and I've noticed this trend amongst a group of gamers we know. It seems to me that they think that everybody has the same big expensive PC build they have. The content person out there is not running their games at PC and 4K with ray tracing, any of that shit, right? But you can look at the
Steam basically busted them. Steam busted them.
Steam said that most
when they did their
1080p.
report, they said, majority of the gamers play at 1080p, and their graphics cards is on a level of 1060.
A 1060. And what kills me is when you got somebody who gets a game like Returnal. It's a good game, right? I'm not saying that Returnal and Horizon and all these games from PlayStation coming to PC are good games, but they act like, oh my God, this shit is billions and millions of miles above what PS5 or PS4 or whatever can do. And in my head, I'm thinking like, dude, you got a $3,000 to $4,000 PC. If it didn't look better, there should be a problem.
That would be exactly.
Yeah.
My whole thing is,
that's what I always tell them.
And I say, does it? Yes. I always say this. This is what I say to them, J-Dub. I say, why don't you guys, instead of telling me it looks so much better than the PS5, which we already know, why don't you tell me what graphics cards you're running in? The settings to optimize it really well. You guys are so worried about it runs so much better than the PS5. Who cares? It should run better than the PS5.
It should, yeah.
What graphics card are you running? What are your settings like? Actually, give me stuff that's valuable, not some old bullshit ass. It runs so much better. It's night and day. Nobody can place. I just don't get that. I don't get that. You get one guy out here that tells you how great the Returnal runs on this PC, and everybody thinks that that's the standard of how it's going to run on every PC, and that's just not true.
Well, I always ask them. I say, does it run $5,000 better than the PS5? I mean, because think about it. And here's the thing, and when they bring that up, they claim they'll have a 4090 that costs $1,600, 1700 with tax, right? Then they'll claim to have this badass fucking 1440p monitor, 4K monitor, whatever. That's gonna run you $1,000.
Mostly 1440p because that's what they love.
Yeah. Then you got this Intel Core i9 fucking 15,000 something K, whatever, right? They'll claim they have that CPU that costs about $1,000. Then they got the fancy RGB lighting and all of the fancy stuff that they put in, all of the best of the best. This was they claim. Now they claim they have this until you start asking them and start doing some comparison next to the PS5 and the Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
And then I say, well, you spend probably $5,000 on that PC. Oh no, I didn't spend $5,000. I only spent like $1,200. Stop the cap. Like they cap.
Well, they want the
they want to cap and
like
downplay how much they really paid for it.
Yeah, and the thing is like they want, like someone said, like they want to be part of this console kind of thing. Because remember,
conversation.
Yeah, they want to be part of this console, and they think that the console is a petty thing. And dude, this has been going on since Crisis stuff. Like, can it run Crisis? I remember the first achievement was like, you can't run Crisis. Like, consoles can't run Crisis. And then, that was the thing. But the problem I find, though, is that I wish there was more of that push like Crisis in the PC area to justify these graphics cards. I feel like that the PC world has really went back to like, what is it? Shovel Knights, and like went back to like these kind of pixelized games. And it's like, how are they moving all this graphics GPUs every year? 390, 4090, the 5090, the 6090, and it feels like the games they're not catching up to the graphics cards.
No,
where are those
games?
games?
They're playing games like freaking CS:GO and Dota.
Yeah,
and Celeste.
and I don't think the gaming
I'm
market.
saying, like most of these guys, they're talking about how great their PC is and the games they play. They don't really play, and it's crazy because if they do play games, it's kind of weird because they want to tell you how many Switch games they got, and they freaking burnt the ROM, and they're like, oh, look what I got! I got Switch games for free, and I don't even need to buy a Switch.
Yep.
Those PC guys are fickle. They're really fickle.
Well, yeah, Frog. But to your point,
No,
if
they,
you go
they
look
want,
at
they want to feel superior.
well, if you go look at all the
That's why they call
reviews,
themselves Masterwave.
if you go look at all the reviews of games are typically technical issues. Like a game gets bombed because of a technical issue that it's not optimized for their PC. Very rarely are you like, this has a great story. This has a great combat. A lot of it is more of like, hey, this runs like trash on my 4090.
Yeah.
This is not optimized. Fix your game. Like a lot of the reviews, when you look at Steam reviews, a lot of them are because the game is not optimized for their system or the game has a technical issue. It's not necessarily so much about the game story or like, combat elements or animations. It's really not about the game so much. It's more about the technical aspects of how it's functioning on their computer. And that's a lot of the reviews because I know I go into the reviews and I see some of this stuff. So like, and again, like I agree, like PC gaming it has its own world, and I agree. But I feel like that should be its own thing. But blame Phil. I blame Phil on this bullshit.
These weirdos, man.
He's the one that tried to combine the Xbox to be PC and PC to be Xbox. PC is its own thing. It has its own problems, its own great things. Console has its own problems and its own great things. Yeah. They're two separate worlds. Yes, you could play on both of them, but they're not the same. And for somebody to compare a PC to a console, there's no way. The PC is going to win because it's unlimited power. But again, the problem that you don't have, the issue that you have is optimization, where the console has the optimization, maybe not have the power, but it has the optimization. And we've seen with the Series X and the PlayStation 5, power isn't everything. You could have a 50, 90, 80, or the triple X. And if the game doesn't work, don't work.
Look, we still don't have any game on PC, as far as I'm concerned, that looks better than Horizon Forbidden West.
I know. Where is that development, dude? Where are those big developers to push the boundaries of PC? The last one I remember that was supposed to do this was Cyberpunk. And that was going to be the game to like you're gonna get a PC for like you got to get a rig
Yeah.
to run that thing at like 4K, and that thing came out as a failure. But since Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
like what other game was there. Like it's not gonna be Starfield.
No.
And we will depend
Yeah.
like what game is gonna be that game to push the graphics card, because I feel like Nvidia, they're on a one-way trip, man. They're like, next year's a 59, this year will be 5090s. We'll tell you why the console, the 4090 you bought last year was trash. That's all they do.
Yep.
Every year
That's
they
all they
trash
do.
their previous one. They go, well, here's our new card, 15% faster than the trash you bought last year. And then last year's trash was like, hey, that's 15% faster than the trash you bought the year before. They trash on their previous year of cards. That's all they do. And
Or
they
they
just keep
release
doing
one
it.
and they're like, oh man, you didn't get a TI. The TI is coming.
Oh,
You're like,
yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
First off, it was the
Yeah.
4090, and then it's like, this is 15% faster. Then the TI comes out. It's like, dude, that 4090 is trash. The 4090 Ti is
Well,
25%
man,
faster.
It's
I don't
a
have time
never
to-
it's
I
it's
don't
a
have to
never
do-
ending.
It's never
Yeah, I don't have
ending.
that time to do that,
Yeah,
man.
it's a never
It's
ending.
a FOMO. It's and yeah.
Yeah. It's a never ending chase for something that I'm gonna be honest. These consoles, they do well enough for you to. It's not a fucking night and day difference as people want you to believe.
Yeah.
I have a high end PC. I got a 4090, and I'm the first one that I'm realist. I'm a realist
Yeah.
about it. Look at how much I spent for my PS4, right? Fucking $399. That's all it took for me to get a PS5. And just my graphics card alone cost me $700.
Okay.
Seven- 1700 bucks, right?
Yeah.
So I could have bought 4 or 5 fucking PS5s for that cost. And you can't tell me that the graphical, what I'm looking at on the screen just looks that much better, where it's like, yeah, it's a $2,000 difference. It's not. Like, stop the cap. And the fact that these next generation consoles are giving you options for the 120 frame hertz mode, the ALLM, the VRS, and all the other acronyms that they have out there. It's giving you that stuff. And for that price, you can't beat it. These games are optimized for these consoles because it's just one spec set that the developer have to deal with, versus, like you said, on PC. Well, they gotta, in order to make it viable, in order to optimize it for PC, you gotta go from the 4090 all the way down to the Intel integrated graphics and everything in between. So that's why, a lot of these games are running like shit on PC, whereas on console it's running better.
Yeah, and also
I mean,
too,
it's-
like
it is what it is.
yeah, and speaking of optimization, a lot of the critiques come out when they try to show min specs on games, where they're like, "Hey, here's the min and recommended specs," and they're just like, "Whoa, wait a second, why is that saying like a 4090 to run a 4K and stuff like that?" And you go, "This is unoptimized trash." Like it starts not even with the game itself; it starts with the min max, the min and recommended specs of these games. And again, every game is is treated differently. That's why when even Phil and everybody made these claims of 8K gaming and 120 frames, it's like, yeah, but what kind of game you're talking about that's going to be that? Like, not every game, like that's the capabilities, but not every game is going to run that. Just like what Stupid Greenberg was like, 60 frames is going to be the minimum that we'll see this generation. I mean, well, look at Hogwarts on the Series X. It can't even hold 60 frames in performance mode. Like,
that doesn't have ray tracing and none of that.
Yeah, or I didn't even get into the other thing. Like the Series S, the next gen console, doesn't even have ray tracing in Hogwarts and doesn't have a high frame rate mode either.
Yep.
That's crazy. Like the next gen console doesn't have ray tracing and doesn't have high frame rate in the gamepad in the Series
because
S booster.
what's sad is, man,
The Taurus,
lot
that's
of
right,
people
Double
out-
Shooter. The Taurus ran at 8K. That was the first like 8K game.
you got a lot of people out there buying these S's thinking they're really getting the true next experience, and they don't realize that all they do is gimping themselves. They're gimping themselves.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, one of the greatest things I think to PC gaming has been the Steam Deck. That thing, I love that thing. That thing is great. That Steam Deck for what it is. Like, I think that is like for PC gaming, dude. I think the Steam Deck is absolutely incredible. Like, it's a perfect mesh of like if you want it. I think it's a perfect mesh of if you want that kind of console simple stuff, but if you want to do some crazy stuff with it with emulators and and tweak this thing around like a PC would, it has that as well. And I think it's like the ultimate, man, if they could make like a unit, like and I wish that's what the Steam boxes was supposed to be, with that Steam Deck. Like it never kicked off, but like that would have been cool because it does have the good balance of being simplistic to get your game and just game on there. But if you really want to do frame rate, change stuff, plug it in, do some crazy stuff, it's all open to do that. And I think the Steam Deck is like a perfect world for like gaming, like of that thing. I think Steam Deck is great, and I love that thing. That thing like comes in clutch all the time, like with that. But yeah, and again, it's all this weird stuff, and I do just say blame Xbox for everything because it's Phil who tried to tell you that a PC gamer is an Xbox gamer and a console gamer is a PC gamer, and it's not. They're a different audience, and a Xbox gamer is a phone gamer. It's not. They're not the same market. You may dab on each one, but you have a preferred method, and because the difference is all of them with different input devices, and that differentiates how people play. You're better with control. You're better with mouse and keyboard. You're better with touch controls. They are not the same player. You might dab, but you expect different. You have different expectations on each device. You cannot have the same expectations across all three of those devices, and that's what Phil Ness jerked us around again because that's not the same. You could be the same person. You could play on all three different things, but you're not playing the same games and having those same expectations. And you see it. Look at Returnal. And the way Sony's doing it is they're allowed to meet the expectations of a PC gamer, giving them the widescreen support, giving them that optimization, making sure that optimization works, rather than what Xbox did with the Halo Infinite, where they just threw it out, chummed the water, saying, hey, it works on everything. And meanwhile, it wasn't really functioning really well at all. And, and that's the problem. Like they're split too thin, where Sony's able to optimize it for console, deliver it there, maximize it, the potential, and then down the line they make sure that the game is optimized and put it for a great PC experience and the best of both worlds. And they could charge $60 again and make money.
I'm gonna be honest. This is what I think, man. I honestly think Microsoft needs to go ahead, get out of the console space because clearly they aren't good at it. They just need to focus on PC. Just become a big third-party publisher because that's what they'll be after they buy this Blizzard Activision. And just put your games everywhere. You can still have your service.
I said the same thing.
You'll just be like Ubisoft. You'll be just like EA and the rest of the people, right? They have their services and their games to see everywhere. So just do that because it's better for you because Microsoft is 22 years in the industry. They've never made a single penny off of the hardware anyway, right? Their CFO said that in court. So clearly you suck at it. Last generation, you had the weak console. Now you have the weakest and the strongest console, and you're still not making a dent in anything.
What's crazy though? You have people that believe that if they leave from the industry and they become a publisher, like it's going to hurt gaming. Sony and Nintendo, PlayStation, Nintendo start doing crazy stuff like charging $500 for a contract. I said no, they won't. They won't because their business model, right? And they're listen. Here's the reason why that's not the case. Both Sony and Nintendo, their bread and butter is in the video game industry, right? If their video gaming thing dies, the company goes under. It dies. It's over. It's a wrap. Right. Microsoft, right? They have all these other avenues of making money. They're a $1 trillion company.
It's $2 trillion company.
Yeah,
and so gaming is nothing to them. It's really not. So just because Microsoft goes away in gaming does not mean all of a sudden Sony's going to start doing a bunch of stupid stuff. They can't because they can't afford to.
They can't afford to, right?
Look how long it took them to get back
because they can't afford to. Yeah.
Remember that stock was garbage like on the PS3?
It was junk status.
Junk status.
And what a lot of people don't understand is what a lot of people don't understand is like at the end of the day, even if Microsoft's Xbox went away, we already know they're going to be a service and then they'll put their stuff everywhere. They're going to make money hand over fist for themselves, more money they made. They're probably trying to profit then because
they'll do more with less.
Can just put they can put software everywhere. But people think that it's like, oh, it's some fanboy shit. People want Xbox to die. Xbox it's been dead for years.
We don't want it to die. They've been doing it all along.
Last generation,
Listen, they had such a great generation in the 360 days.
Yes, that was it.
Everyone will tell you. I don't care if you're a fanboy or not. Those days are never coming back. Never.
They're not with this leadership at all. Unless somebody
Not
comes
because
in.
the leadership, the goal of what they're trying to do, just the willpower. They don't have the willpower to do that.
Yep.
They're out here talking about play any and everywhere. You don't even have to play on Xbox and stuff like that. Like, once you start losing your pride in your hardware, because think about it, that's where the bulk of their base is. It's in the console space. They're trying to tackle 3 billion gamers. Right now, Xbox, you can play it on a cloud, a PC, a web browser, a cell phone, a console, a Samsung TV. You can play anywhere. And where the fuck are these billions of gamers? Where are they?
Where are they?
You're talking about you're trying to get all these billions of gamers. Billions of gamers have access to your platform and your games now, and yet they choose to not partake.
Halo's number 25 in the top 50 games. Like the billions of people have access to it.
That's what I'm saying.
Halo. If you want Halo to survive, you reboot that thing from the ground up from part 1, and you release it as a multi-platform game.
Billions.
People hate to sit here and say that, but the reality is you can't go on and keep doing what you're doing because nobody's buying your stuff. Your service isn't going to grow. People don't want that.
Yep.
You know, people don't want that.
Gears 5 was that was on everything. Phones, TV. It was not on TVs because they didn't have the Samsung app, but like cloud, phones, PCs, and on console. And they shut that thing down. They had to force crossplay. And they had to shut it down. They couldn't even kick up a esport with it. They had to shut that down too. Like
we know why you know about the whole crossplay thing came up with.
The forced crossplay.
Yeah, that's some bullshit too.
Yeah, the forced crossplay because PC dudes couldn't find games fast enough. That's what they had to do. What happened to billions of people?
At this point, I'm like J-Dub. I'm like, I'll tell anybody as much as I love some of their franchises are kind of dead, and they need to reboot them from the ground up. They got to look at what, and I always say Nintendo and Sony are pretty good at reinventing themselves. Look at what God of War did from the last God of War. You know, from I would say PlayStation 3, God of War 3 was great. You know, and Ascensions came out, it got mixed reviews.
All of their franchises excelled and went up. Microsoft,
and then guess what they
franchises
did?
went down.
God of War 2018 came out and was something completely different than we ever saw, and it reinvigorated the franchise.
And you think Microsoft's going to do that?
To their franchises.
Probably. And you guys,
got to do something different.
You think Microsoft's going to do that with Fable and Perfect Dark? You think they're coming back and bringing those?
Not. Nope.
Fable was on. Fable didn't even lost its identity when they shut it all down. Like Fable wasn't even on its high point. It was like Connect version, and then it was like the service.
You know why
version.
it won't, Jazz? You know why it won't? Because, and it's like I said, I was saying this year, I said, you know, as good as Spider-Man 2 will probably be this year, the only competition Spider-Man 2 really has this year is the only 2 games. It's Zelda and that Final Fantasy game. That's it.
And Hogwarts.
That's the only competition it has.
And Hogwarts.
Hogwarts is going to be, it's going to be nominated for something. It may be Game of the Year. But what I'm saying is like, Spider-Man 2's biggest fight right now is going to be Zelda. Zelda's going to be the biggest and I predict that Zelda will be Game of the Year. Like, you know.
Bro, look, I said, like, look, imagine Rouge Starfield with that kind of traffic that you just said. Zelda, the Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts, Spider-Man, like, jeez. Like, it's on every platform now, dude. It's not just like last year.
Listen, the fact that they won't even give you a release date for a game that supposedly is coming out within the next few months, that tells you how much pride and that they actually have with that game.
Yeah, confidence in it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing with Redfall. Like, you think that little bit of gameplay that they showed in end of January was enough for a game that's supposed to be so big and like like they showed a little bit of controlled gameplay, like for $5 for 5 minutes. That's enough.
I hate to say it, but it's a Game Pass game.
They don't have to sell it. Yeah, they already they already know what their expectation is. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, because they're making it for the click, and you know how we get annoyed on the internet where somebody just puts some like outlandish headline just to get the click, and the article has no substance. That's what they're making now. They're making games for the click, for the engagement, and it might not have the substance that you're coming to buy. And you play it in Game Pass going, thank God I didn't buy this game. I'm glad I got it in Game Pass because this doesn't have substance. And they're just trying to get you with the big headline, the marquee sign. And the thing is, if this game had so much in it, you would want to show that, explain the mission structures, explain the mechanism, explain the different guns, explain the show the leveling up system, show just a straight up 15-minute mission. You know, when you look at how they presented Horizon and stuff, like they broke down every aspect of that game leading up to it. And you know, it just Microsoft doesn't do that with their games. Like in Starfield should be getting monthly updates of how like different planets and different explorations, things you can do, crafting, everything.
Look, the fact that No Man's Sky does more,
that is a problem.
than
No
what
Man's Sky's gonna get a
Starfield
second
does,
resurgence. You know that.
you can't even land on a planet in Starfield, right?
I know.
It's a quick cutscene. I'm like, dude, No Man's Sky, not only do you have to go through the planet's atmosphere, but you get to land at any place on that planet where you want to.
Exactly.
Like that's you know, you can go to a whole nother solar system if you want. It's I don't know.
You could
I hate
land
to say it.
anywhere. You're right. You could see a mountain
Anywhere.
from space or
Yes.
a body of water from space and fly right into the planet
Wherever you want to land. Yep.
through the atmosphere to that body of water that you see from space. Where in Starfield, you select a planet and there's a spot to land on, and you click. It's a cutscene, and you just land where they tell you to land. And it's you know, it's not really this exploration. Like, and that's the craziest part. And I'm gonna tell you right now, No Man's Sky is gonna get a second beam of life this year prepared for Starfield. I'm telling you. They got probably an update planned. Well, the VR thing's gonna be crazy, but I'm gonna tell you, everybody's gonna jump back.
Crazy.
And I'm going to tell you, I think everybody's going to jump back into No Man's Sky and realize how great it is when Starfield shows how much it's not having. Because the thing is that Starfield needed to start where No Man's Sky ended. Like, No Man's Sky does this, you start from there and do better with that.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're already not doing things that No Man's Sky has done, people are going to realize, like, wow, No Man's Sky is really much more ambitious than Starfield. And I think there's going to be a uptick, maybe not huge, but I think there's going to be an uptick in No Man's Sky. Like Twitter, get people playing it, things like that when Starfield comes out.
That's the best thing about VR, right? Or something like that.
That's going to be incredible VR.
It like you said, it reinvigorates access to your game. Look at GT7, right? Now it's going to be in. Now they got all these the Sophie and stuff like that.
Yeah,
now all of those gamers are jumping back in there, right? Now you see all these people out there buying steering wheels and racing simulator cockpits and everything.
I got mine.
All of that for games that most people had already had for a whole year.
Yeah.
But on the Xbox front, there is nothing new. There is nothing. I mean, it's.
I know it, J-Dub. I remember I sent a photo on Twitter. I don't know if I sent it to you. I just sent it on Twitter of my play seat and stuff, and that's when you followed me on Twitter. I remember that. I sent the picture. I was like, look at my rig. I'm ready to go GT, and then you followed me. I was like, with the and I just set that thing up, man. I got my. I can't. It's gonna be awesome. I got and then with that Sophie, and can you just explain one before we wrap this up? Like, just what is that Sophie AI? Did you read about that? Like, what that was?
Yeah, it's the artificial intelligence that they have that gives you. So basically, the AI.
You're racing the people you're racing against.
Yes. So the AI, right, was able to compete against the best racers in the world, the esports racers, and the AI beat them, but it put up a fierce competition back and forth between the two. But it shows you that AI has gotten so good that it was like racing another human. There's a difference, you know, like when you're playing GT or Forza or something like that, you can always beat the computer.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's dumb, right? It's dumb.
Yeah.
Even though Microsoft promised the drivatars and stuff.
That was just names above people's.
That was just. Yeah, that stuff didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, This is actual artificial intelligence that not only can supersede humans, but it can actually throttle it back where you can. Our races now, right, are going to be actually competitive. So even if I play offline, just solo against the PC, I'm not just lapping everybody. I'm putting in a real fight, and that is going to keep me going. So when I'm practice racing, whether you're racing offline or whether you're racing online against people, you have that same experience, and that's going to push you to do better and learn more. And it's just, man, I mean, it's like this stuff
Racing
is
agent. Yeah, they call it like a racing agent.
Yes, this shit is crazy, man. It's
Did you see the virtual reality garage mode? I want the where the hell's that lady's video?
Yes.
Oh my god.
You can walk around the garage.
Yeah.
You can get inside the car, look at everything. It's listen. Once you go VR, you just can't go back.
Yeah, what is it? Did they? What the hell's that? The lady doing? Garage. There was a clip of the lady doing it on Twitter. I didn't save it, but she was like going like you could actually go up to the car, walk. You could see all the reflections in it, look through the glass, and then get in there. Dude, man, it's gonna be great. And then guess what? You know all those. Remember the $10 upgrade that everybody whined about? Sony collected. This is free. Did anybody everybody go? Sony's good for gaming. Sony's consumer friendly. Did you see anybody say that on Twitter? Sony's consumer friendly with these PSVR upgrades, and no, I didn't see any of that stuff.
It's only bad when Sony.
Yeah, but when Sony was charging $10, they were anti-consumer. Phil's consumer friendly, but Sony's putting PSVR updates right now and everything, and there's no anybody on Twitter going, wow, Sony's really consumer friendly. Oh my god, yeah, whatever. Clowns are clowns are clowns. But anyway, yo, J-Dub, Frogs, thank you so much for coming through. I know we went over. I want to try to end it a little sooner, but man, we just got in the whole conversation and we just let it go. But I want to thank everybody for coming on. I know, Frogs, you're getting a VR, right? You got the VR on order? I think he does. I know he does. And J-Dub, you got yours, so tell them where they can find you. Frog.
My bad.
Frog,
Yes,
gotcha. And J-Dub, tell them where they can find you. I know J-Dub has his. He's ready. And happy birthday. Have a great birthday, J-Dub.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. You guys find me on Twitter at JDubCity16, man. I'm always trying to keep you guys laughing, poking fun at the console and stuff like that.
It's good old fun, man. Yes. Hit that like button, Frog. Tell them where they can find you, too.
Yo, Frog's Dream on Twitter. Man, I can't wait, man. Dude, this first couple of months, man. Gamers been eating, man. Metroid Prime remake. Even though, like I said, I kind of wish Nintendo did the trilogy. Man, the freaking VR coming out. We got Final Fantasy coming later this year. You got the Resident Evil 4 remake.
Resident Evil 4, baby. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for Resident Evil VR, dude. Resident Evil 8 in VR.
Man, Resident Evil VR. Gran Turismo VR is what I really am excited to play. I can't wait to see what that's going to be like.
I know, man. I can't wait. Well, Grinders, hit that like button. I want to thank you again, man. We had a great show. It was a full deck, and we had some extra conversation on there, but, and some laughs, man. Hit that like button. Share it out. Again, we're on our way to 2,000 subs. I can't believe it. We have about 50 or so left. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, share it out. Check out yesterday's video. That was hilarious with the PSVR reviews. We did a little bit of recap today, but, man, I went off laughing my ass off yesterday. It was insane because that was the first time I experienced that guy getting tangled in his USB cable. But with that, we will say, we'll just say, enjoy your PSVRs if you're not getting it, but keep it locked to this channel. I will be doing, see what I do an unboxing, definitely give my impressions and my experiences and stuff, and do some VR streaming because you could be doing that as well right from the PlayStation. So we'll try that and try all the stuff and keep it locked here for all PSVR coverage, all Phil Ness, and all great gaming about quality games, quality splits. Thank you, VIP Grinders. And it's about quality gaming. You, the consumer, have all the control and vote with your wallet. Hit that like button, share it out, and we'll talk about the opposite about it. Phil Ness, hit the music.
Oh, and Psychonauts 2. New games are coming fast. 12 minutes and Hades. And they're all on Game Pass. Some of
And we'll forget about that Chains of Olympus USB cable. Be careful out there, grinders.